You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. That show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh at needs, gonna listen trees, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break it on. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. That show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yo,
Hey.
what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast. My name's Jared. We are on season 4, episode 35. My God, I'm
Damn.
getting a little long in the tooth here. What was it? What did we just do? Like 38? Some stupid number? I don't even know.
Well, the last two were both 45, and then the first one was
45.
like 65. So
Okay. We were also doing 2 episodes a week, so
we got to be close to 200.
the season's gone on for like a year and a half. We'll probably see something soon.
We're on
Anyway,
episode 185, which is crazy.
Total? That's pretty impressive. That is impressive. And joining us, as always, is my good man Figsy. What's going on, buddy?
Yo.
And our special guest this evening, returning for the second time, Mr. Dadsgameroom. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you.
Glad to be back.
Well, this one, there's not too much going on. It's mostly going to be shit talking, so I hope you guys are ready for that.
I was born ready for that.
How you been, man? What's new and exciting? Anything good? What's going on?
Well, since the last time I was here, I had my second baby.
Hey,
So-
congratulations. Wait a minute, I can give you one of these. You did it.
So he's 4 months now. So dude, all he does is just smile and cry and want to eat. That's all he wants to do.
I mean, isn't that what we all want to do?
I mean, yeah.
That's
Good
pretty
point.
cool. And poop your pants. That's
Oh,
all right.
he
Take
does
care of
that too.
Yeah. I mean, that's right. I mean, that's the dream. And my cat, he's 19 years old. Literally, all he does is sleep all day. He wakes up and poops, and then he just screams when he wants stuff all the time. That's all he does. I'm like, wow, you got the life, bro. You just sleep all day, wake up, and go, hey, give me what I want. Give it to me. And then you feed him, and he's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to
pretty
sleep.
much- that's pretty much my whole day. I get home from work. My daughter's just like, Daddy, can you help me with this thing on the Switch? I'm like, yeah. And then, so gotta cook dinner. Oh, I gotta feed this kid. Oh, I gotta feed the cats. Oh, they want attention. Oh, now I need to do another thing on the Switch. And now it's time to put them in the bed. And then they get in bed and it's like, all right, I can breathe. And then the cats come in, just start meowing. And it's like, oh, okay, go away.
Well, if you have kids, pretty much 98% of your time is spoken for against your will of what you're doing and how you're doing it and stuff like that. Like everyone I work with who has kids, they're like, never have PTO. I'm like, why don't you have PTO? Why don't I have PTO? I'm like, my kids, I have to use it. They have 2 weeks a year straight up of school vacation. There's 2 weeks of my PTO I have to use right there. And then every time they get sick and every time they have to go to the doctor and every time they have to go on sports trips and I don't have no time. Like they don't have, they never have any. And I'm over here like drowning in it. Like I'm going to take some time off to play video games. They're like, screw you.
Yeah, thankfully my job is very lenient on, if I need off to take one of the kids to an appointment or what have you, because we have a ton of those coming up.
I remember I worked in a supermarket and I took like 2 weeks off to play a video game, and the judgmental I got from all like the mums when I came back was next level. What did you get up to on your holidays? Did you go anywhere? I'm like, played video games for 2 weeks. It was great.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tough. Yeah, that happens a lot. Like we'll have like a 3-day weekend, a 4-day weekend, and everyone's like, "Oh, what'd you do?" Like, well, I played golf and I did this and I that. I'm like, what? Oh, hell no! I just played games. What are you crazy? That's like a dream come true. I got to play an RPG. I was like, if I have 4 days off, I'm playing an RPG because I can actually play the damn thing.
Yeah, we have our first date night coming up Saturday since having him, and we're taking the whole day, and we're just going away and not coming home till later.
Yeah, his Nana and Grandpa helping out. That's the key.
It is going to be beautiful.
Everyone will be looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, your wife ain't gonna let you play games. That's not gonna happen.
We're actually going to go hunt for some games. So
Ooh, that sounds nice.
We did that.
That's cool. Where do you go? Where do you go game hunting these days?
I still go to Goodwill's, and I'll pop in a GameStop here and there since they have the retro stuff now. And then there's a couple like local game stores I go to sometimes. If I find the right stuff there, it's affordable, but they like to be all over the place with prices. So it's a nightmare.
Yeah. That's the issue I have. There's a couple game stores in the area, and sometimes they might have some desirable stuff, but their prices are very high, and I'm just like, eh. But I like everything else. Usually I'll only go there when I have some trade stuff. Like I always go and trade. And I prefer doing that than trying to sell stuff on eBay these days.
Oh yeah.
It's just a lot of work. And then people bitch and complain. And I'm like, yeah.
I always worry about like selling something and then they're like, I didn't like it, or this isn't what I ordered, and then they send you back and it's just like poop in the box, and you're like, oh, okay.
So luckily I haven't had
bitching on eBay. I rarely do this, but I blocked a buyer this week before they even bought something. They went to buy like $100 game, and then like I accepted their offer. It was reasonable, and then before they paid for it, like a full paragraph. Is this what's going on here? Blah blah blah. Is the case right? How are you going to reach? I'm like, I replied the first time, and then they sent me back more questions. I'm like, no, I don't want to sell to this person because if they're not 100% happy, they're going to complain. I looked at their profile, and I can see now feedback they've left for others, and half the reviews are bad. I'm like, I don't want to sell to you.
Yeah. Probably the good choice there.
Yeah. Like the $100 sale isn't worth it. You know, that item will always sell. You just gotta wait.
Yeah, especially if it's actually desirable. You know what I mean? I saw that person a $10 game. I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, I don't even care. I'll just write this off. But if it's like $100 or something like people want, no, I wouldn't waste my time.
But I wouldn't sell them the $10 game because I don't want to take 10 photos and answer 10 questions for a game that I've spent 2 minutes working on because it's making me like $1 profit. You know,
I wouldn't even.
I don't want to spend half an hour on an item I'm making $1 profit on. What's the point?
Yeah, that's obnoxious. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. That's my alt account. And I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable asking you the question, so I just pretend I'm somebody else.
Just make him take 100 pictures. Just one more. I just need to see the corner.
And then
I'm reasonable. I've taken out artwork before and sent it to people because I'm a collector and I know what collectors are after. I had this one buyer of PSP games for a whole year. Every time they bought something, can you take the artwork out and take a photo of it? And I did it for every single game they bought, and they always paid for it. But they were very polite in the way they asked. It wasn't completely unreasonable, you know.
It's all in how they go about like asking and stuff. Like if you're just being kind of like blunt about it, you kind of might rub yourself the wrong way or come off not how you're trying to seem. But if they're very polite, it's like, okay, yeah, of course, I'm happy to do that.
And look at the two buyers. Like the other one sent me an offer, so they're below retail price, and then they want more service. Like this one's doing it before they send. They're not sending an offer; they're just sending a message, and then they're paying full price for it. It's like, well, that was worth it because I got a sale I wouldn't have got. you feel like you've negotiated for this other sale already. It's like, well, I just took $10 off the price, so I don't care that there's a little rip down the bottom there. Like, it's already cheaper than the other ones online.
Well, and that's what's nice about that other the what a place full prices, because at least they appreciate the fact that it is in good shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they want to
exactly.
know if it's in great shape, and you're like, yes, it is. And they're like, oh, cool, then I will pay that. I'll pay more for a game. I don't take like when I look up games, I rarely buy the cheapest option because the cheapest option is usually shite. Like
I
it's
start
the
looking
worst.
at the cheapest,
Yeah,
and I buy the first cheapest complete perfect
that looks
condition
good.
copy. That's
That
how I
look-
work.
exactly. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'm usually in the middle of the road. I'm not buying like a brand new one for 200 or whatever, but I'll find a nice used one for $100 that looks good, something like that. Yeah.
I'll have
Yeah,
an exception if there's like a sealed one for an extra $10. I'll pay
that's
the
what I
extra
mean.
$5 or $10 to get a sealed copy.
If the price increase is worth the condition increase, I'll pay it all day long. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And sometimes after a while, it's like you just want a new copy. Some like on some things, I'm just like, I just don't want it messed with. Like I don't want to even ask them if is the DLC code used. I'll just buy the one that's sealed. That way I know it's not, or I know it's not screwed up. Or if it came with like a little insert or something like that, I'm like, I'll just get the new one because I know it'll be in there. And
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense.
yeah.
But why not? It's resealed. You don't know about it for 10 years. You can open it one day. You're like, where's the stickers? It's got the little wibbly eye that the Walmart scams have got going right now.
I just hate when I take my time looking through the thing and I find one in a really nice condition and I pay the price and then the guy ships it in a piece of tissue paper and I get it all fucked up anyway. And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Sweet. Good job. Awesome. Great, dude. I'm like, I don't know how do you sell games like this on a regular basis? People.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. The good thing about today's society is those people don't last very long. They either get a lot of bad reviews and it affects them and they have to change the way they do things, or they just stop doing it because everyone's complaining. Everyone's an asshole. It's not me. It's like, no, you're the asshole.
They are the asshole, and they're usually like some guy who's just selling his kids games. He doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? He's just trying to,
Yeah.
He's not planning on eBaying for more than 6 months anyway.
If there's one thing I learned, it's how to ship things properly. I had to sell like an entire room full of scrapbooking stuff. It was when my mom passed away. She was big into scrapbooking, and there was this company called Heartfelt Creations, and it's like a super like upscale scrapbooking stuff.
Yeah.
And I had to like take all these pictures, list it in a Facebook group, and have all of these old ladies tell me what they wanted. I would go through, pick it out, wrap it in like as cheap shipping as I could, but like good enough to like get it out.
Mhm.
And it would like some people would be like, thank you, it was awesome, it arrived beautifully. And then some people were like, I can't believe you shipped it that way, how dare you? And it's like, it's paper and metal dies, come on now. Like you got it and it works, right? Condition doesn't really matter with these things, huh?
I wouldn't want to deal with a bunch of old ladies is my primary.
I'll just say, if I was ever
really nice
thinking about someone selling my collection, like I'd hate for me to pass away and my family would have to deal with it. Like, you know what all this stuff's worth, how to sell it. You bought it all, you know how to sell it because you know the condition you want your stuff in. So it sucks to burden family members of having to deal with that. Like having to do the research on what is this? Is it worth $1 or $1,000?
It was so much work having to like look up everything and be like, okay, these things are worth this much. This is lightly used, so it's this much. This is brand new, it's this much. And it's like there was so much of it. It took me so long and it was such a hassle, but I did it. I got it all done, and I never want to see that brand ever again.
This is why you need to figure this stuff out and sell your collection before you die. That way your wife or girlfriend doesn't have to do it.
Well, if my 5-year-old is continuing the path that she's on, she will inherit the collection and play every single game 5 times over.
That's
awesome.
that's ideal. Like
That's
my
the
mind,
thing.
if I'm dead, I want my games to live on. As a
Yeah,
collection. I don't-
she's becoming quite the little gamer. She just told me today. She goes, "Daddy, can we get the Switch too?" I'm like, "It's not out yet." And she goes, "Well, I know, but can we get it?" I'm like, "Maybe." And she goes, "Because the Switch we have now, it's just so small." I'm like, it's not gonna be that. And she pulled it out and she goes, "Look, I can barely tell what's going on in Animal Crossing." I was like, "Oh God."
Well, it is much
Play it on the
bigger.
dock.
Yeah, I was
Guys,
like,
while
"Play
we're
it on the
talking
TV
about
then."
bad eBay sellers, I came across what possibly be the best eBay ad, wink wink, I've ever seen. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. I'll just let you have a look at it for a second.
Bulk PlayStation 2, 3, and Xbox games. PS4 games not included.
And then have a look at the photo.
And it's like all PS4 stuff.
By the way, the PS4 games are not included.
So what is it? Just the Rush, Zumba Rush, and is that it?
Little
It's
Big
just
Planet?
Zumba Rush.
All it took was just to take the stack.
There are more photos. You
Oh,
get
okay.
these.
All right, here we go. We got some other car games there.
And then this is the stack.
Why, dude?
Do you think he like took the photo while laying in bed?
Had to have. had to have.
That's hilarious. Did you see all the
And then the feedback's probably the lowest feedback I've ever seen on eBay, 91.8. I didn't know they allowed people
I've
to
seen
keep
worse.
selling at that point.
I've seen worse. I've seen it in the 80s.
Holy.
But yeah, did you see all the people selling like photos of 5090s?
Yeah. So people were listing. Okay, so bots were buying all the 5090s, so people weren't actually able to buy them because all these bots were set up. So people listed 5090s on eBay in the description saying, "If you're a human, don't buy this. This is for the bots." And all the listing is a picture, and the bots bought all these pictures of
For thousands
5090s.
of dollars too, by the way. They weren't like $1. They were like $2,000, $3,000 sold.
And all these scammers got photos, all like, not scammers, but
No, I mean
Assholes.
scalper pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Dude,
what it is.
it's a huge problem.
Scalping. Yeah, it is.
in every industry, Pokemon, we can
Yeah.
see it
Oh
in the
my
video
God.
game industry. Like, it's not as bad. We haven't got as bad as Pokemon or a lot of like card games.
Even Magic the
sport.
Gathering, it's getting bad.
Oh my god, you guys just both mentioned two topics I want to talk about this evening.
The Final Fantasy, Magic the
Oh
Gathering.
yes,
cards
the
are
Final
solid.
Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. I'll be honest, they look really cool. I'm kind of tempted, but
I know, but I looked and they're already sold out.
You are talking about something that I am just deep into here. Oh, you can't see it. It's a shelf up now. I have Magic cards right behind me that are displayed
Nice.
there. But yeah, I mean, one, the set's gonna be bonkers, and they are going to make all the money, and they're gonna come out with some sick art.
So what exactly is it? Is it just like is it part of the actual game, like the standard game, or is it?
Yeah.
Like,
So what they've been doing is they call it Universes Beyond. So they do.
I know they did a Lord of the
crossovers.
Rings one too. I heard.
So they did Lord of the Rings. They did Warhammer. They did Fallout. They did
Oh, wow, I
Doctor
didn't know
Who. They did Assassin's Creed.
Dear Lord.
They're doing Spider-Man. They had Marvel. But
All right, never
basically,
mind. Now I'm overwhelmed. I don't want. I'm not interested.
yeah,
anymore.
it's huge. So what they do is they have these crossovers. Some of them are standard legal in the standard format. Some of them are legal in modern and eternal formats. Then they have Commander product, which is probably their best selling out of anything. So what they do is they have like regular boosters where you can buy them at the store at regular booster price, and you can open the cards. And then they have the Commander stuff that is exclusive to those things. So once you can't find those anymore, prices will skyrocket.
I'm sure.
Collector boosters where you get all the crazy stuff, and then they have like they usually have like another type of booster, but I don't know if they do it with Universes Beyond or not. But yeah,
Well,
this has been a highly anticipated set, and they started spoiling some. And dude, it's they have
you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get a lot of people who don't even play Magic, who are Final Fantasy fans, who are gonna try to collect that stuff. So
yep, the dude that does my thumbnails was like, dude, I think I might buy these, and he doesn't. He's like, I don't play Magic, but
that's
I like
how I
Final
felt
Fantasy.
about it. I'm like, I'm not even really into Magic. I used to play. I loved it actually back in the day. It's one of those things. I don't have anybody to play it with anymore, and it's expensive. And
I used to play heavily. Like we'd travel and play, and then our play group started to fall apart. Our local store closed, so I just kind of got out of it a little bit, and then I play online. So I'm as big into it now as I was before.
It's cool.
It's huge online now, so it's cool to see, because it's like it's so hard to set up, a store and everyone to come at the same time and play for 2-3 hours, and that's just such a hard thing to set up and do it on a regular, because everyone's got their own lives.
Those times where I used to play at my local store are some of the best times I've had with friends, because we would go there, we would rip like packs, try to get like what they were called. They were called expedition cards. So they were like the chase cards in the packs. And we'd just sit there just blowing money, ripping packs. The store owner would be there and he'd be ripping packs too. And we'd get one, then we'd trade it in for more packs to try and do it again. We'd be there till like 1 a.m. Dude, it's
definitely its own form of
store owner be like, you just bought 2 packs, I'm taking 1 more out for me, all right. No one's making money, everyone's just putting it in the cards.
We would speculate on cards. So like an event would be going on, like the Pro Tour, and we would be like, oh, this card is like doing really well here, I'm just gonna buy those right now for $5 a piece. And then 2 days later, they'd be $50 a piece, and then we'd go and sell it back to the store.
What I love about Magic compared to, say, Pokemon cards or basketball cards or anything else is Magic cards are expensive because people want to play them.
Yeah.
Like a card isn't a 10 compared to a 7. There isn't a massive price disparity. There will be a little bit, but not compared to Pokemon, because that's expensive because people want to play it. They want to actually use the card. They're not just putting it in a slab and leaving it there forever. Like the Black Lotus was initially expensive because it was such a good card and it was so limited. It wasn't just this super rare thing. It was also usable in the game and people wanted to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like a Pokemon event coming up on the 27th, I believe. There's some sort of Pokemon presentation thing happening.
Surely they won't announce a new game, because
I think they're speculating that they're gonna announce like a collection of the classics.
Yep, that's what I've heard too. I don't know if it's gonna be like a digital thing on Switch Online, or if they're actually gonna come out with like a physical cart with like all the old games on it. But
wow!
If they do a physical cart with like Fire and Emerald and all the old Yellow and Red and Blue, if they put all the games on a collection, and you're just printing.
So they
I don't even play Pokemon, and I'd buy that.
And we will buy every single one, so they don't have to put them on. Here's the old collection. They can do. Here's Red. Here's Blue.
Oh no! They better not do that. I'm not buying the.
I think what they would do is do it by like the collection. It'd be like, oh, here's Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then here's Gold and Silver, and then here's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and
they could
kind of do a slow trickle.
They could. I hope they don't, but
we're not going to put them all on the one. That's just not going to happen. They want to do multiple generations.
Dude, that'd be so sick. Because then also like you could like transfer Pokemon between all the games, and and do all this
Oh.
crazy shit. That'd be
Oh,
so
that would be
cool, man.
awesome.
That would be sick.
Getting
Yeah.
like shinies in the old games because they'd put that in there. And, oh,
Here's an interesting thought. If they didn't do a physical and they did like the Nintendo Online on the Game Boy emulator thing,
Mhm.
would you be able to use that data in Pokemon Stadium?
I don't know. Because that used to be the only way you could do it, right? Or
You would have the
Pokemon
pack
Coliseum
in
or
the back of
something
your
like that.
N64. You had the pack that you load your game
Mhm.
into, and you could pull your Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it would be cool if you could do that.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Any type of quality of life improvements like that would be huge, and I it would just be cute to see people reliving the Pokemon glory. So I'm a little older for Pokemon. Like I never got into it as hardcore as people who are a little younger than me. But like, you know, I always find it would be fascinating to me to see all the 40-year-olds again walking around being like,
I would be one of those.
dudes.
That would be me. Yeah, I have an actual on top of my shelf here. I have the it's a Charizard Happy Meal box because they were doing like the Pokemon card stuff. They had like packs and it was like limited like Pokemon cards that you would get. It was like 5 cards or something like that. So I have a kid, so I was like, hey, let's go get a Happy Meal.
Yeah, any excuse.
And I just like
I
pulled out the cards. I was like, I'll take
most recent
these.
set. I couldn't find the prismatic cards anywhere, so I've like pre-ordered the next set just so I don't miss out because it sucks. I don't want to I want to get into it, but I don't want to pay eBay prices to get into it. You know, it's not fair.
Yeah, I just like the nostalgia of it. Like that's what I'm in it for. Like I play the Pokemon Pocket TCG on your phone. I'll play that and that's fun, but that's as far as I go.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, like actual like OG cards and stuff like that are insane.
Yeah, like COVID
Ridiculous.
really jacked those prices up astronomically.
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
people realize that they can not just make money, but they can make a living flipping this stuff.
Just
that's what's
having
happening.
a camera set up and they're just like, all right, let's rip packs. And then they just do that for 16 hours a day.
Well, now there's rumors that they want to send everybody a check for $5,000 in the United States. That's like a rumor they're talking about, and I'm like, and I'm honestly like, please don't do that because your video games will go up again. Don't do it. Like, don't do it, please. I know it's people are like, oh, but you get $5,000, and then I'm like, I know, but literally,
Then I have to claim it on my taxes.
eBay would never have a better week. That would be like eBay's best ever week.
yeah, of course, and it would just be all over again. All of a sudden, it'd be like Fatal Fame 2 would be $200, $250.
Dude,
Silent Hill would be $600.
Everything would just go nuts.
Yeah, dude.
It wouldn't last though. It would go up and then it would come down over the course of like 2 years. You know.
I
They
mean,
should be
I
like,
work
you
in
can
the
have it, but it has to stay in your bank account for 1 year. You're not allowed to touch it.
I work in the automotive industry, and when everybody was getting free money, dude, we were so busy. We were just pulling in money, just with rakes, just raking it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what everybody needed it for food, bro. We were all starving because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
It was the biggest load of shite I'd ever seen in my life, man. So
it was a crazy.
like I took my stimulus check, I threw it in the bank, and I'm like, it's cool, I have it still, but it's like I'm pissed. Like all the games doubled and tripled in cost. So I'm like, it wasn't worth it to me. So
You know what I did with the stimulus money? Do you see the basement that I'm sitting in here?
yeah.
That's where it went.
I'm sure I bought some games during that time, but I don't know. Just I really I would love to think that it would be a good thing, but it's obviously not.
It never is. Giving people free money to do whatever they want with is never a good idea.
Well, it would be cool if
It
they
should
only
be
gave it to
something.
people who file
If they're
taxes.
saying it's for food, it should be something like everyone's got $1,000 to spend at your local supermarket, you know, and we're not going to give you money. We're going to give you, like, you know, food vouchers or something like that.
It would have to be like a voucher of some sort. Yeah.
I think they should do it, but only for people who have filed tax returns for the last 5 years. That's it. If you haven't paid taxes 5 years in a row, you don't get nothing. Because the whole point of it's supposed to be a refund for wasteful spending. And if you ain't fucking giving no money to the government, I don't give a shite what you think about wasteful spending.
You're not getting your money back. You're getting someone else.
Shut the fuck up. You don't deserve anything. Only people who work and pay taxes should get their money back. And then I'd be all right with that, because then it would be at least people who fucking deserve it. Like COVID, it was just like, whatever. You just here's some money because you fucking whatever.
Because you exist. Here you go.
Sure. Why not? You know, you haven't worked for 20 years and you don't have a job, but apparently not having a job suddenly is a problem. So here's some money. Like, what? Yeah. But so we'll see what happens with that. I hope it doesn't really happen. But speaking of drama, have you guys been checking out the news? Did you see some of the stuff that's going on? You may find this shocking, but there's another controversy with limited run games. Like always, this company, I swear to God, I think sometimes I feel like people are picking on them, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, they deserve it. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but
Yeah, I heard about this.
Rugrats game that they came out with. Everybody says it's a great game. I heard it's really fun, but the actual physical cartridge that they produced, there's some sort of mismatch in like the voltage between the cartridge itself and the actual NES. Like the cartridge puts out 3.5 volts and the NES is 5 volts or some crap like that. And they're saying that eventually, if you actually play this physical cartridge in your NES, it's at some point gonna either burn out your cartridge and break it, or it could actually damage your NES. That's the rumor. Now, sorry, go ahead.
I heard I heard mixed things. I heard that it could ruin it, but I also heard that that's a myth.
I heard it was on 2 games. There was a second one as well. Has this article you've pulled up, Joe, got the quote from Josh? Which is an all-time quote.
Jesus, I don't know if he has it in here, but I did see that quote.
There was something like, go.
Yeah, right there. It was the Powell game or something.
There you go. There was Josh Fairhurst reportedly down a bit under the photo.
Oh, okay.
Probably said that bad production quality is fine because most customers never open the box, let alone play the game.
Yeah, that was pretty much the same. That was like that. I'm pretty sure he said that after the CDR debacle when they were like rehashing his quotes.
No, I'm not surprised this is happening. When we had Doug on here, he was like saying, I used to fight for this shit. And Josh didn't care. And look what we're seeing. We're seeing games that can fuck your console. What happens if this is a PS5 game? And that fucks someone's PS5 because later down the line, something happens like that. You know, like, it's just unacceptable. You shouldn't be making games that can fuck consoles.
This is an absolute horrendous take to have if you're a game manufacturer who supposedly is into preservation and all that. I mean, it is really like that is like Mr. Burns on The Simpsons level of not giving a shit. You know what I mean? Like that's not good. Even if it's true, like he's probably right. I bet that 90% of the people who bought this cartridge didn't open it, but it's not the point. Like, if one person opens it and plays it and this happens to them, that's ridiculous. Like, that should never happen.
If it's meant to be a collector, like a more of like a collector's item is what he's basically saying there, then why even make the cartridge playable? Why not just make it like a cartridge model, but not able to insert into
you can just do like the NES.
Because they can't justify the like $120 price tag at that point. It cost us $1 to make. It doesn't work, but we're still going to charge full price.
So It is, to be fair, it probably is something that happens 1 in 10,000 times you play it. And it will, take years for it to be an issue, but it's just not a good excuse, and it's not a good look.
No.
And I don't know. It's like they either they don't have a PR department, or they just don't care, or like I don't know. The company is like done more to damage their own brand in the last 2 years than like anybody else. Like none of their competition. Like, but I guess when you get that Embracer money, it doesn't matter. You don't care anymore.
But it must be a profit grab, because as it says, it's due to lack of quality control on the NES board. So they're buying cheap parts. Like they're charging premium prices and they're using shit products. Like, they may as well be wish.com. By the way, this is shit from China that we bought. Like, we're buying a collector's edition and we know that quality is shit, like the collector's editions they put out are shit. Majority of them suck. They don't look good. Look at the Super Meat Boy box that they still release. Like, the fact that they got that in hand and went, this is okay, and sent it to customers is pathetic,
So yeah, it looks like it's two specific games. It's Rugrats and Pio Pal.
Yeah, it was a second game.
Yeah, it's the parts of the board constantly draw power from signals that are not intended to provide power and will damage the cart. So like John Riggs did a video on it and he explained it pretty well. It's like how you buy a device and it's supposed to operate off of 9 volts power supply. And he's like, you could probably plug in like a 12 volt and it might work for a little while, but eventually it's going to melt your device because it's putting too much juice through it. And that's pretty much what will happen on a smaller scale. So now one thing I will say though is that I did see them put out a message and they're like doing like a recall. So you are able, like if you bought this game from Limited Run, so if you bought it on eBay, you're fucked. But if you bought it from Limited Run, you should have received some sort of email communication from them explaining that you can send it back and exchange it for a new copy. So I would do that.
I'm sure that process is lovely and easily handled.
Yeah,
so
I can
like,
imagine.
you can ship it back at your own costs and blah,
Correct.
blah. We know what they like.
Exactly
they don't do returns very well. You shouldn't be getting to that point.
I
It should
feel like
be
this-
quality control that picks that up from prototypes and says, no, this isn't good enough. Redo it with the proper fucking voltage.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
feel like
shouldn't
this kinda
take an
stuff-
article to come out for them to do that. And it's happened to plenty of their products that the controversy hasn't made mainstream media and they don't do anything about it,
Yeah, I feel like this kind of stuff happens with companies that get too big for their own good. Like they start out as this little company and they're, putting out this stuff and it's like, oh, cool. Like this is a great company. I love their stuff. And then as they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, they try and cut down costs and they try and in like maximize profit. And eventually you just get to this situation where somebody calls out your product and it's like, hey, this is shit. And then they're like, well, it's meant to be shit.
Wait, you opened it? What are you thinking? You're
Yeah.
supposed to play games and open them. What the hell, man?
You're supposed to sit them on a shelf and just let them collect dust.
It's like, oh, guys, one person opened them. The plan's ruined. Now everyone knows our game doesn't work.
We've been found out. Scatter.
That was my like shocking response to the whole CDR thing that they did, because they had a very similar attitude, like nobody's going to open these and play them anyway. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? You're talking about the video game community and the collecting community. There are more OCD nerds on the spectrum out there into this hobby than anything else. Someone's going to find out and they're gonna bitch. Like, you're not going to get away with it. Like, there's no way. Hey, Jedi Run for $5.
I'm just saying, I just bought repo carts of Resident Evil and Metro Road Dawn for the NES from China, and they work great, no voltage issues. And they're coming from China, and they're using the right parts. So why isn't Limited Run using the right parts? Thanks for the donation, Jedi Run.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
I mean, it can't be that hard and expensive to put that part in there. It can't be that.
They're not making 1 million of them either. They're only making 1,000. They're limited run. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. That every one they sell is premium price. Like, it's not like they're cheap. You know,
Yeah.
this isn't making sense. Like,
I bet those
and then-
repros in China aren't for like $60 a piece. They're probably
yeah, exactly. The repros would have been cheap. Like, they're making a lot of fucking money on their products. That's the bottom line.
The dust collector store.
This is why I promote like a lot of those little smaller companies and the low print companies and stuff, because we need this competition for this company, because if they end up being the only thing around, you better get used to like this shit, because that's like that. My nightmare is like there's no more physical games other than limited run. Like that's all we're gonna have. Like there will be nothing else. Amazon won't have anymore. Best Buy won't be doing it anymore. Walmart will be out of the biz. Like the only places that like companies will go to is a company like that to print their games. So I would hope in the future there's more than one company doing it still, because I don't want it to all be through limited run games.
If there's a monopoly, we're fucked. Like,
Correct.
I've
I
been
think
bored
there's
of
always
really
gonna be
Limited
somebody
Run's
doing it.
actual website for probably close to 2 years now. Like I still buy limited run games, but every single one
Yeah,
I buy is through
that's- I
Video
don't-
Games Plus. I won't buy through limited run because I don't want to support them anymore. You know,
I'm like not a hater for limited run. Like I don't. That's why I say like I feel bad sometimes. I feel like everybody's picking on them, but at the same time, will you stop fucking doing shit like this? It's like you wouldn't be in the news if you just like released an NES cart that worked. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't
think I
making
own
drama.
a limited run game.
What's that?
I don't think I own one single limited run game.
Oh,
That's
I own a
wild.
bunch. I own a ton. I mean, sometimes it's the only way to get the games that are, and they have some killer games that come out. They really do. Which is, I can move on to another topic too. One thing that made me very happy, I don't know if you guys saw this, is they announced the Thing remastered collection getting a physical release. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Oh, that's pretty sick. I like the old style movie poster.
Oh yeah, the poster looks sick.
That is sweet. That's a
so
nice steelbook too.
This is a really nice collection for what it is and for the price.
Wow, $35? Really?
No, that's for the standard edition. This is
I was gonna say, holy.
the deluxe edition.
Oh, the deluxe is probably what,
50
50 or 60?
$49.99, $50.
I mean, $50. That
That's
is
still good. Yeah, that's still great.
Oh, this is through Atari. I was looking at the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind deluxe edition that I might grab.
Yeah, I'll definitely grab that too.
Because that
But-
steelbook, ooh,
yeah. The best part, Joe, is it's not through limited run games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So this is Night Dive Studios, and Night Dive Studios, like almost all of their physical releases have been through limited run games. Like they're the ones that redid Quake, and they did like all these boomer shooters and stuff like that, and Star Wars Dark Force Remastered, System Shock, like a lot of games like that only were released through limited run. So it was really exciting that this is like a standard physical release. So
I think companies are realizing in the year 2025, it's easy to make a website. It's easy to make a Spotify store. I mean, a Shopify store. It's easy to do this stuff and sell it yourself. You know, skip
it's
the
never-
middleman out, and you're
it's
going to
never
make
been
more
easier.
profit.
Yeah, it's never been easier to do this. And when you have a company that's really kind of lacking to provide a product and you see this opportunity and you jump on it, you can basically just take their whole customer base away from them if you do it right.
So yeah, this is really cool. So this is through Atari. In general, I feel like Atari has been making a lot of good moves in the last year. I feel like they're doing some smart things. I really, really like the 2600 plus and the 7800 plus, and I really liked some of the games that they've redone lately. And I like that. Have you guys seen the handheld they're coming out with? The Game Station Pro, I think it's called. I'm not sure if you guys
No,
are
but I
big
love the
Atari.
name.
So it's like a handheld, and it's specifically, you know, designed for Atari enthusiasts because it comes with like the spin paddle. So you want to like play the games that require a paddle. You have like
That's
an
cool.
actual little spinner on the handheld, and it comes with like a little trackball. So you can play trackball games if you want to play Centipede or Millipede or something like that. It's gonna have a little trackball on it.
That's interesting.
I should probably.
Yeah, I've just realized the left cover's got the map of Antarctica on the back. That's cool.
Handheld. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
Jedi
out
was
yet.
saying, no, we'll be waiting 100 years for our physical games if the only limited print companies like Limited Run are the only sellers left.
I don't
Yeah,
think I don't
and
think
it-
it will ever come to that because I think there's always going to be another company that's like, we got this.
I hope so. That's the thing, though. It's like the other thing is that not only is it going to take 100 years for us to get your physical, but even for them to make the physicals, like they have a backlog of games they're trying to go through. They have deals probably set up for the next 3 to 5 years of what they're going to release. And like, you just have to wait as a developer, even. So even if you get your game to come out through limited run, you got to maybe wait 2 years before it comes out. And what sucks is that you don't have any control of like when they release it with what else they release it with. So let's say they release 3 or 4 pre-orders in that same time frame, and one of them happens to be some banger game like Castlevania is coming out and your little indie game's coming out. Like, you just might, like, when I can't buy everything that they put out. They just put up too much product. I have to pick and choose. So there'll be times where there'll be 4 games they have up for pre-order that I want, and I'm only ordering 2 just because I don't have the money. I'm not spending $200 every month on games from them. It's not happening. So, you know, you gotta, I don't know. It's not ideal at all. I don't want that to be the future. I want it to be multiple different companies doing it, or just retail releases through that like this, or even like, you know, how Sony does sell games on their website, PlayStation Direct. I hope maybe they'll start. You can buy them through Sony. Games like something like that.
I'm hoping we see more like independent studios, 2 guys who made a video game, go to Sony and get 1,000 copies printed and sell them out of their house. I'm hoping we see more of that in the future. You know, we want a physical game and we're going to skip limited run altogether. I'll take out a loan, print the shit, you know, make profit, pay the loan off, and have a bit of money left over at the end. And that's how we're going to get our game out. Because, you know, how good would it be to be able to do that and skip limited run or skip first press games or whoever you know you have to go through to get your game out there?
Well, everyone should skip first press games. Everybody should. Like, if you're looking to get your game produced, don't do that. Just look at anybody else. Literally anyone else. I would rather pick companies that already went out of business. They're probably still better off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
I did wanna
Darky said,
say-
look at Video Games Plus. They get games, right? The way that they do it is they announce a game. Guess what? They've got it in stock, ready to ship. They don't give you an announcement 6 months later, we're going to be shipping it. Like, they do things really well with their reprints. Hey, guys, this game got reprinted. It's in stock now. You buy it, it's there in like a week. Like, mind blown compared to what Limited Run does. Limited Run will announce something, take your money. Our shipping in 2026, by the way.
And you get it in
And
a
if you
box.
bought the collector's edition, 2027.
That's why I don't own any limited run games.
I forgot to mention too that the thing is that remaster you can pre-order from VGP as well. It's up on their site as well, so you can get it from Atari, their website, or VGP.
See,
And,
I would go VGP because I'd be like, all right, $80 worth of stuff, and then the shipping's free, and it's international shipping. You know, like great deals. You know,
And these
just
types
shipping
of
alone
releases,
$15-$20. Like it makes a single game really expensive.
these remasters and stuff are some of the only physical copies that I'm like truly excited about purchasing these days too, because they're also like complete games that usually work. The discs work, the builds are work. It's like finalized. Like I don't know about you guys, but I particularly have become very jaded and distrustful of even hearing physical games are being released because I'm like, so it's going to be some shit version of a broken game on a disc. It's not going to even work. So
yeah. I'm
like,
still gonna have to download a 100 gig file to be able to play it
Yeah.
anyway.
that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 game, like everybody was bitching about this thing and the other thing, and I was like, whatever, I don't even care about any of this nonsense. But then when the actual game was coming out and I saw the developers being like, you have to update it, the disc build's like a year old.
Yeah.
It's full of bugs and shit. I'm like, dude, screw you. I'm like, I'm not even buying your game anymore. Like, fuck this. I'm so out, dude. Like, if you're gonna sell me a fake physical of a broken game, I'm like, just get out of here. I'll wait 5 years and hopefully you'll come out with a version that works on a disc. Maybe I'll buy it then.
It seems to be the trend with AAA games that they don't have to put out working games anymore. If you're buying a game day one, guess what you are? You're the beta tester. They just had this thing that it was the Dark Souls Nightwish like open beta, and it didn't work. It was broken. It was janky, but at least it wasn't day one. They're testing it prior to, like they're getting their fans to sign up and be the testers. So day one, this game's actually going to work. I'm excited for that.
Exactly.
A lot of these games, day one, if you're pre-ordering, paying full price, you're the game tester. They're like, bug's been discovered because 1,000 people have reported that they can't get past level 2.
That's why I'm glad I don't play like newer games and I wait, because like everything's just broken
You get
the
punished.
minute it gets released. And
You
it's
get
just
punished
like,
for being a day one buyer.
yeah. The only things that I buy day one are Resident Evil games. That's the only thing that I'm like, I need to have this now.
Sure. No, there's lots of games like that. I'm just at the point now where when I'm talking about whether I'm going to buy a physical copy like that, it has to be an actual functional physical copy. Otherwise, I'm not saying like boycott everything. I hate when people fucking tell everybody what to buy and what not to buy and shit. Like, I think that's so cringy. I just buy the digital at that point. Like, if you want to play it day one and the disc is fucking broken, just buy the digital copy and enjoy it. Play day one. Go nuts. Update it, patch it, blah, blah, blah. But don't buy, if you care about collecting, like, it's the point of buying a physical copy that doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's illogical to me. Like, I can't be like, we need physical media, and then everybody points out like, well, that physical media doesn't work, and I'm like, you're right, actually. That's stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, you're right. I can't argue with that.
When the power goes out and all these physical games you bought don't work, it's like,
it's what exactly.
It's like, I can't put a PS5 game in because I need to install it and download the update, and I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So the worst. I prefer like people ask like what I love Red Arc Games, because Red Arc Games 99.9% of their games are functional, complete on disc, no DLC, no updates required. They're just indie games that have been out for a little while. They get a physical release and they work, and that's all I'm asking. I just want things that will function.
Yeah, the thing I hate the most is when you get like a deluxe edition or a collector's edition of something and they don't give you the physical game. They give you a case if you want to buy the physical later. Yeah. It's like, oh, all right, I just spent $250 on this, and
getting a steel book with no game in it with it has a big
insult.
Slot for
it's an insult.
We're treading into crazy land at that point. That's how
this happens a lot. Like, this is the common trend, Just don't put a disc in there at that point. Put a, make a slot for a little card and put a thank you for buying our product, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly what I would be doing too.
That's a lot of them. And they're not cheap. It's not like these collector's editions are cheap. They're like $200 and they don't include the game.
Give me a physical disc. Don't just give me an empty case that's just like, hey, you can put a disc in here if you had one.
Yeah, no, they don't even make one. Or you have to buy it separately and put it in the box yourself.
Just go buy another copy, rip it open in the store, take it out of the case, throw the case at the store clerk, and be like, I don't need the case, I just need the game.
Yeah, that would be done.
You know where it's even worse? Is when there is a physical and then they sell like a $600 collector's edition that doesn't come with the disc. But there is a physical version of it, so you can buy like the standard version of the disc or the collector's edition without. Like, who do you think are buying the collector's edition? The one that want to own the copy. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember I pre-ordered the collector's edition for the Evil Dead Halloween game that was coming out. And I ordered the PS4 version. And they sent out all these notifications saying that they were canceling the PS4 version. They weren't like not enough orders. They couldn't make the discs or whatever. I don't know, but they weren't going to do the PS4 edition. But I was like, but you could buy the PS4 edition still. What are you talking about? Like, I go on Amazon right now and order the PS4 Halloween Evil Dead game. So how about you motherfuckers go and grab some of those copies and throw them in the boxes? What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not like they canceled all of the PS4 editions and like they weren't making them. They made them, for God's sake. So why can't you guys just, what the hell? Like, I don't know. It made no sense. But it is what it is. So they were cool. They just gave me my
Imagine that they did that. They just
one.
like grabbed one copy and put it in the collector's edition and sold it to Joe. And he's the only one in the world with the PS4 collector's edition because that's the only one they made.
I wouldn't be mad. That would be like that would be fine with me.
I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, if it's as long as it's sealed afterwards.
So another.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, I came on the show with a big stack of games, and I said, I'm going to start playing these. And in the last 2 weeks, I've put in like a lot of hours, more hours than I want to admit, but I've been gaming hard. I just wanted to chat about that quickly.
Sure.
I got I was chatting to Dadsgameroom before the show about platinum trophies, and he said I don't go for the platinum anymore because I just don't have the time. And I'm in the period where I used to play working full time and I only have a few hours, and now I'm like gaming 12 hours a day. So I do have the time to do this. So it's an interesting experience on how I'm looking at games. So I finally went back and I platinumed Elden Ring on PS4 because I got the PS5 when it first came out, and I'm like, I'm going to play this game again, slowly enjoy it, get the platinum for the second time. So I did that. I played Hitman 2. Which I'm really disappointed in because I only have access to half the game because I got to buy all the DLC if I want to play the rest of the game. It's like legitimately less than half the game you can play. And it's a game that it's meant to be replayed, which can be fun, but I don't really like that. So I just played through each mission once. And I'm like, that was fun. I don't want to do it 400 times.
Yeah.
I started 2 Point Campus on PS5, and I had to Google how to get past the intro because the game froze and wouldn't let me through it. And I had to like do this weird thing to get, like the game goes black, but you can press a certain combination on the controller to like get through the cutscene that you can't see to actually play the game. It's an issue, and the developer have responded to every single person posting about it, and they're like, is the HDMI cord plugged in? Is the HDMI cord plugged in? Is there like 40 responses from the dev? Every person's got this issue. No, your game's not working, mate. I had a sealed copy. Like, come on. I did get it playing. Like I played it for like 5 hours. I don't know. I didn't love it. It was fun. I guess I'm not a fan of like the humor, and when it comes to like city builders like that, I prefer like more serious stuff. So yeah, I had fun, but I don't know, I didn't get into it.
What have you been addicted to?
I'll get to that in a second.
No, okay. Crack cocaine.
I'm like, I've done Elden Ring. There's another game that I didn't get the platinum for, and it was Demon Souls. And I'd beaten it once because I platinumed it on PS3. So when I got my PS5, I'm like, this is going to be easy. I'll have it in a week. I beat the game in like 2 days. I got the hardest trophy in the game. And I'm like, I'll come back to this. 5 years later, I'm getting my ass kicked. New Game Plus is destroying me. I'm getting humbled. So over like 15 hours this week, I got the platinum for Demon Souls. I did that last night. But I did start Returnal, and I am loving Returnal. Like, it is absolutely amazing. I didn't didn't even know what the game was like. I only heard this is really good. This is really good. I never really watched gameplay footage of it, but fucking hell, I am hooked. I just beat the Force boss last night. Absolutely loving it. Like really into the game at this point. It was 5:10 in the morning, and I'm like, I better go to bed.
I absolutely love the character control in that game. Like just your standard like movement speed, you're fucking hauling ass. Like that. I love that. Like, you know what I mean? Some games just like you like just walking slow and you're like you can't even like I don't know. It drives me crazy.
If you don't know what the game is, it's a
flying, jumping around, and it's like Doom, like kind of like Doom Eternal. Like
yeah, it's like a third-person shooter, but the way the enemies fight back is like playing a shoot 'em up. You know, you got to dodge the bullets and do the perfect runs. I'm like, I can see how Joe loves this. Yes. To me, the closest game I've played to it would be like Nier, because Nier has certain scenes where you're fighting the boss, you know, with melee and whatever, but the boss is fighting you like it's a shoot 'em up. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of got those little aspects to it. But yeah, it's so good. I mean, it's a type of game where you die and you lose everything. You got to start again. And you start again. And you start again. And you start again. But your weapons can upgrade, and that progress is permanent. So like eventually your weapons get stronger and you can finally beat that boss, and you're a little bit stronger now, and you unlocked a key that's permanent. And yeah, it's really good. I'm like 20 hours, 30 hours in. I think I'm past the halfway point, so I'm loving it.
You're selling me on this game, and I've never even looked at it.
Oh, yeah, well, a lot of people say it's their favorite game on PS5. Like,
yep.
I hear the question, and if you were going to buy one game on PS5, what would you buy? A lot of people will say Returnal. And I was always like, oh, yeah, I bought this game, and I just haven't played it. I can agree with them now. Like, I'm probably going to say, like, Elden Ring, because I'm a massive Souls person. But
I never
unless you're into that type
either.
of stuff.
I think it's on PC. You can get Returnal on PC now, too, I believe, as well. I'm pretty sure. So it's no longer like a. So for a long time, it was just a PS5 exclusive, and it was the reason I got a PS5. So like people are like, well, there's no games for it, there's no reason to get it, blah blah blah. I was always like, except for Returnal, that was the like the thing that tipped me over the scale and like made me want to get it. But I was also obsessed with Nex Machina, the previous game from Housemarque. If you've never played that game, it's really good. Really, really good. Like super fast paced, high action, twin stick shooter type game. So the company itself, I've been very impressed with their trajectory.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I just wanted to mention there's one scene where there's a PlayStation in the game, and then there's a shelf underneath, and I've like zoomed in underneath, and I'm looking really close because you can see the titles of the game, and the games are Matterfall and Super Stardust HD. I'm like, I've got those games. My game's in the game. That blew me out.
So I just think that they're a company that understands gameplay above everything. The gameplay is their number one focus. Like, is the game fun? Is it fun to play? Does the movement feel good? Do the guns feel good? Do the dodging feel good? Do the mechanics feel good? Like, that's their premise. And then they kind of build around that, which is, and there are other companies that are like, no, we're going to have everything. The water effects are the most important, and the story is going to be the most important. And the voice actor, we got to make sure we hire this voice actor that nobody knows who they are except for people who work in the gaming industry. Like, I thought voice actors are so funny. They're like, here's this famous voice actor. I'm like, I don't fucking know who that is. I couldn't tell you who a single voice actor.
I can tell you one voice actor. I forget the name, but it's the guy from Portal 2, because he's an actual actor.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing. They'll hire real actors. And that's another waste of money, in my opinion. I've never been like, oh, I got to get this game. This actor's in it. Never, like, never. The only time it ever intrigued me at all was when Willem Dafoe was in
Beyond Two Souls.
Yes, Beyond Two Souls. I was like, oh, I like Willem Dafoe. That's cool.
That shocked me too when I was playing that game. I was like, William Dafoe?
Yeah, but that's still,
dude, that game was really good. I loved that game.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it can, I suppose, but it's just gamers. I can't say we give a shit. Like I don't care. I've said this before. I was playing through God, what was that terrible game? I don't know. There was a game I played and they had some famous actress in the thing, and they wouldn't let you skip the cutscenes because she was in the cutscenes, and I'm like, I don't give a crap how much you paid this person. Exactly. I don't give a crap how much you paid this lady. I want to skip this shit. I don't care. Let me play the game. I don't care, bros.
The
I
only
know
time
you guys want me to care so very much, but I just don't. I want to play games. I don't want to watch movies. There's very few times if I'm playing a role-playing game, sure, I care about the story because that's the game. Or if I'm playing like a FMV or like those Until Dawn, like super massive games, like if it's a story-focused experience, then sure, I care. But like if it's an action game, I don't give a shit. I play shmups. You think I care? Like it matters. I'm like big spaceship, little spaceship, pew pew pew, everything blows up. I don't care. Save the planet. I don't give a shit what the story is. I don't want to know. I just want to play. Like,
yeah. The only time I care about the voice actors is when it's one of my favorite franchises, and there's like a event that I can go to. Like there's a local arcade by me called Timeline Arcade, and they've been doing these like meet and greet events. So they had Jason Mewes there last summer, I think. So I went to that and got to meet Jason Mewes, which was huge for me because I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. And so they announced that they were having the voice actors for the Mortal Kombat games, like the original Mortal Kombat. And they just announced that they're having the voice actors for Chris and Jill from the Resident Evil HD remake for GameCube. So I was like, sign me up, take my money, I'm there.
sure.
So I'm going to go get I have a Japanese import, like deluxe edition of it for PS3 that I'm going to get signed because it's nice and tall.
Nice.
And it's
I
displayed,
would like
I think
Charles
it's displayed
Martin.
right behind me.
I would be happy to meet Mario. He'd be
Yeah.
cool guy. That'd be
Yeah,
exciting.
like anybody else I'm not going to go for, but like Resident Evil, anything Resident Evil, just take all the money. You can have it. I'll throw it at you.
It's
Give it
just
to me.
it's just funny. It's the same thing in anime. Like I'll see all these conventions and they'll be like, we have Biff Smith who played Hakamakuraku, and we have Jane Kalala, who's the voice of Shimi Guapapaka. I don't fucking give a shit about it. I don't care.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. But then I'm like, it's not enough to make me want to go to it.
You have to be really, really, really into this stuff to care. I don't. I don't know. It's the same. It's like when people like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I have a bunch of pictures of me with celebrities that we've met going to Monster Mania, and it's like right in the main door that you walk into our house. It's like right next to it, and people always see it and they're like, "Oh, who's that?" And I'm like, "Who's Bruce Campbell? Excuse me?" Or they see like Ric Flair and they're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "The Nature Boy, Ric Flair."
Woo!
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
Well, those people are actually famous, so that
Yeah.
I can understand what you're saying. But that's my
It's
point.
like,
But I've reached a point in life now where people who are actually legitimately famous, I still don't know who the hell they are. They'll be like, this famous actor and actress are gonna like from this show. I'm like, what?
Are they from the 90s? Because if they're not, I don't know them.
Exactly. I'm like, has this show been popularized in the last 5 years? Because I have no idea. I don't even.
oh,
have
me
cable
and my
anymore.
wife are big movie, TV show watchers. That's our thing. So we're big into that.
I mean, there are some people I would be excited to meet, but even for the most part,
If I wanted to meet someone to do with a video game, I want to meet the person who made the game, not the voice actors.
true.
Like, it's not like you're watching a TV show where the characters are the people that you're falling for. It's
David
the
Hayter's
game
pretty
itself.
cool. There's some people that are pretty cool that I would be excited to meet. Like you said, Mortal Kombat. I wouldn't mind Ed Boon or some of those people that did the.
Yeah,
cool.
someone like to getting a signature on like a a piece like a cartridge or like
Yeah.
a piece of memorabilia. That's a cool, like, it just adds to the display factor.
I've always loved the Simpsons too, so I always like those voice actors. I'm
Nancy
like,
Cartwright or something.
Hank Azaria and all them. I'm like, I would definitely be cool with meeting them. You know what I mean? But
and I love the fan interactions that Nancy has with people, where she'll stand next to random people, and then she says, "What's your name?" And then, "Oh, I'm John." And she's like, "I'm Bart Simpson. Eat my shorts," in the accent. And they're like, "Oh, it's you. I watched that show 40 years ago. 30 years ago."
There was one interaction. We go to a thing called Monster Mania, and when the It remake came out, they had the whole cast, like all the kids that were there, and the kid that played Georgie was there, and everybody that wanted a picture from it made him do the voice where he was like talking in like his real low voice, like "You'll float too, you'll float too," and then he like gets really deep, like "You'll float too," and you could hear it in the whole like hall, and you just heard it all day long.
Yeah, it's got to be
Do the voice, do the thing.
Yeah, it's
that
like
would get so annoying.
give the kid a break. Like he's like 10.
That's the curse of fame, though. Like it's like every one-hit wonder band ends up hating their most popular song.
Yeah,
because they're so sick of fucking playing it, or they don't even want to. You know, it's
You
like
want to hear our other stuff? No,
no. You guys,
play the hits.
I mean, you might be too young, but you guys remember that song "Cherry Pie" by Warrant? That she's my cherry pie. Go drink a water. Well, that song doesn't sound anything like anything else they wrote. They were actually like a really talented band, and they could shred, and their guitars were amazing, and they were a really good metal band, but nobody cared. You go to see them and they like just play Cherry Pie, and they're like, fuck.
I hate that song
amazing
just
thing
because
I
of
did?
Guitar Hero.
Nah, I don't want to hear it. We just want to hear Cherry Pie. So
Guitar Hero can ruin some songs. Like
It ruined that
Barracuda, I
song.
can't
Every
listen to
time I hear it, I'm
anymore.
like, turn it off. Turn it off.
So yeah, it's like a curse. It's like how actors like I'm sure that like the guy who played Harry Potter is like, yeah, okay, I'm Harry Potter. Like I've done 300 other films. You guys see Harry Potter? Okay, yep, I'm Harry Potter. Yeah.
The guy that played
I don't know,
Hagrid.
the actors can redeem themselves. And I'm looking at Bryan Carlson, who for like 20 years was known as Malcolm's dad.
Oh, Bryan Cranston.
And now
Yeah,
he's
Bryan
known
Cranston.
as Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You can do it. Like forever, Patrick Stewart was just Jean-Luc Picard to me forever. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, he's also Professor X. He's escaped. he's not just Jean-Luc Picard. Although I will refer to him as Jean-Luc Picard 90% of the time. I'm like, Captain Picard. I'm like, no. Like, whatever. He's Captain Picard.
I love looking at the Bryan Carlson thing and being like, he still is Malcolm's dad, and the family made him go crazy. And then this is the same universe. And
I have seen those fan theories. That's actually really cute. Yeah.
It works too. It works really well.
Another really exciting announcement that I was excited about is, did you guys see that mouthwashing is getting a physical release? Are you familiar with this game at all?
Never heard of it.
Nope.
All right, so this was just like some indie horror game, Darling, like came out of left field type game, and it's got rave reviews. Looks really, really cool. Like everybody says it's amazing, and it was one of those ones where I'm like, oh, I'll keep an eye on that. Maybe it'll get a physical someday. And yes, indeedy, it's getting a physical release. It's coming out later this year, and the physical version is going to be released by Fangamer. So it's not getting a regular retail release. It's going to be through Fangamer. But yeah, I am super excited about that because this is like a really good horror game, and I didn't think it was going to get a physical release. And this is exactly the type of thing that I think these companies should be doing, is they should be finding the smaller, indie games that are really good, and those are the ones they should be putting on physical. And that's what's happening. And if you are interested, you can go on to Fangamer's website and sign up for alerts. So they'll let you know when pre-orders go live. And no, they're not paying me. They're not paying me.
They should be, but if you guys want to sponsor the show, reach out to Joe.
No, I don't want to be sponsored. I honestly don't. Like one thing I do proud myself on is like I pay for all my stuff. So like if I'm telling you that I think you should get it, like I mean it. You guys don't have to worry about me being shilling anything because I pay for all my stuff. I don't ask for free stuff and then promote it. Like like the people like I'll never understand these people. I'll see they'll have like 100,000 subs on YouTube and they're over there like, can I please have a key to play your game? I'm like, you can't afford video games, bros. Like you can't just buy the fucking game. I understand if you want early access, if you want to review it before everybody else, you want a key. Okay, whatever. But like, just buy it. What's the matter with you people?
The one thing I really like about Johnny over at Happy Console Gamer is he'll be like, oh yeah, like I got a review copy, but then I went out and bought the game because I wanted to support, the product. It's like that is top notch right there.
That's what I do. People are like emulating theft and this and that. I'm like, not always. Sometimes I will play a game, and that's how I found out I want to buy it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll play it, and I'll put like, does this suck? And I'll put like 20, 30 hours into it, and I'll be like, no. This is awesome. I'm going to actually buy the physical, even though I've played it digitally.
Yep. Yeah, I do the same thing.
So Tyler says, Fangamer games eventually come to retail, but could be wrong. I think Tunic was from that game. I think you're right about that. So you may be right. I don't know if it's going to get a regular retail release at some point. It's totally possible.
Tunic was fantastic.
Tunic was really good. And it did get a retail release. And
speaking of theft, I wanted to play a game this week digitally, and I didn't. Civilization 7 just came out, and I love Civilization. I bought 4, 5, 6, love them. Have them on PlayStation, play them on PC. And I went to buy it, but I'm like, it's $115 for the standard version in Australia. I've never seen a game like the basic version that expensive, and this is a digital game. And then I looked at plays on YouTube and Twitch, and the game sucks. The game's full of bugs, blah, blah, blah. Like, basically, it doesn't even work at this point. So I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it for like 2 years. I'll wait for it to come out working and discount so I can pick it up for like $20. Like $115 is a roar. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
This is the way, Figsy. This is the new way.
For a digital game, that's
if you're a gamer, this is how you should be thinking these days. Is like I said, you get punished if you're a day one purchaser. You get punished. You pay more for an inferior product. So if
doesn't make sense. Like I'm playing Returnal right now. I read online that Returnal wasn't as good when it first came out. They put out a massive update that made the game better. And I didn't have to deal with any of that shit because I'm playing it 5 years later. It's fucking amazing, Like I wish I didn't play Cyberpunk 2077 when I did, because I'm watching all these videos and every single one talks about how good this game is, and I'm like, I played the shit version of it. Do I try it again? Like I put 40 hours into this thing and I had a bad time. Do I like give it a second chance?
Look what happened with No Man's Sky. Like
same experience. I haven't tried that since 2016 because I put 20 hours into it and had a shit time and paid $50 for it,
That'll be the way it goes. So my ideal dream of the future is that companies like, go ahead, release your game all buggy and broken. I don't give a shit. Release it digitally, though. Release it digitally. Let everybody go out and play test your game. Get your bread. Get your money. So you can afford to finish your game, and then go ahead and finish it. And then when it's ready, release a physical copy.
The Baldur's Gate 3 experience.
Correct.
They did it perfect.
I have no problem waiting a year or two for a physical to come out as long as it's functional. I would rather wait 2 years to play a game and have it be a pleasant experience than rush it and pay a lot of money for something that's broken.
Then the second thing that can happen, if your game's successful, you're going to make money and you'll have enough money to produce it yourself because that's viable. So you can make more money selling your physical to fans because you can do it all yourself and skip, the middleman of Limited Run or EA Games, or they're taking their cut. So like it's great for the developers as well as the fans. Like it's awesome. You don't have to take the risk of will it sell. No, yeah, it'll sell because you're number one on Steam.
What you could do too is video game developers, you could sell a combo bundle on day one that lets you reserve a copy of the physical release and it gives the people a day one digital copy to play. So let's say the game's $50, you could pay 80 and get the digital, and then say we'll give you the physical when it comes out for that price as well. And then everybody's happy. You get the game day one. I can play it digitally. I can play all the updates, and then once the physical comes out, you just send it to me when it's all good and ready. And then I can keep it all sealed on my shelf, like Limited Run says.
Yeah, I was going to say, I never understood why Limited Run didn't try and push for this. Like, if they were working with small developers, couldn't they be like, hey, we're selling 1,500 copies. Can we get 1,500 codes? And everyone who spends $40 on their sealed copy gets to actually play your game. And then if 100 of them are like, this is amazing, talk about it on their social medias, suddenly your game's got sales. Like, don't these companies realize that if they're going to sell a game through Limited Run, not many people are going to play it because they're all going to leave it sealed? Like Josh says, people don't play our games. So no one's discovering this game, like, unless it's already popular. Like, if they gave out free codes, guess what? If I get a free code, I'm probably going to use it and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Special Reserve did that with that game Carrion. I remember I ordered the special super whatever version of that game. And they emailed me and they're like, oh, it's going to be like 8 months. But in the meantime, here's the code. Enjoy the game. I was like, this is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I loved it. I played the whole game and I had my nice digital copy good to go. And then they sent me my cool Special Reserve one. I was like, well, nice. I'll just keep this on the shelf. Nice and sealed and brand new. I've already played it.
I was talking to a buddy of mine and we were talking about like physical game stores and how they get burned on like brand new copies of games that they have to order the inventory in. And I think it would be smart to do kind of a model, like you said, of, you know, kind of taking like a pre-order type of thing where you go into the store, you can purchase said game, you get a code to play the game, and then you get sent a physical copy or something like that. Like you get your physical copy later. So the store is not getting burned on, you know, holding this dead stock that goes like tanks in a couple of months. And they're able to sell the product, but still provide, you know, the new games that people want to play.
So I already know why they're going to.
This isn't like a brand new thing either. This has been around for 10 years when it comes to DVDs and Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get your average Blu-ray these days will have, you know, the normal version
4K,
and it has a download code of the digital version on the inside.
Yep.
Yeah, that is pretty ideal. You get the 4K, you usually get the Blu-ray, and you get the code all in one.
Yeah. And it's the same price. Like, I mean, it might be $30, $40, but that's what they used to sell for anyway.
And I've seen, I've been buying tons of movies and stuff. There'll be people who like literally will just like take the codes and then sell the discs. I've seen that a ton. So they're like, there's a brand new copy that just missing the digital code. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's gonna save me $20. I'll do that. I could care less. I'll take the physical, because it's like with movies, it's not as big of a deal. But that's the thing I always try to explain too. Can you imagine, like, would you guys buy DVDs if they weren't complete on the disc? Like, would you buy them? Like, I wouldn't buy those. Like, I don't understand, like, how these companies think it's acceptable. Like, the standard they've set is so shitty. And like, they're all like that. They're all like, what do you mean? Why would you care what's on the disc? Like, they're confused legitimately why I care. They're like, but
we put an update patch out.
Day one, it just updates. Why? What's the problem? I'm like,
I bought this and I don't have internet. Like, does that consumer not exist anymore?
Even if I have internet, it's just a lifetime longevity thing. Like, at some point, you're not going to offer the patch, dude.
Yeah,
you're not going to offer that. It's not going to exist. And I want the disc to function. I know that sounds crazy, but like, you know, all my PlayStation 1 games work. PS2 games work, god damn it. My PS3 games work, god damn it. Why is all of a sudden they're like, fuck it. It's like, I hate it. I can't stand it.
It's bigger than ever. You can fit, you know, look at Final Fantasy. It's got 2 Blu-ray discs in there. Like you can put multiple discs in there. There's no excuses these days. Look, I'll give the exception to Call of Duty because their patches are like 700 gigabytes, and you need like 6 discs to fit a complete Call of Duty game. All right, we'll take an exception, but for your little indie game that's like 400 megabytes, I shouldn't have a day one patch. You know, even AAA games that aren't huge, like what's the game I played the other day? 2 Point Campus. I shouldn't have to download an update to play it. You know.
Yeah, like I go up to a hunting cabin, and if we go up, like there's no internet there. There's barely anything there. You barely get cell service. So we have a cabinet full of DVDs that people just contribute, and that's if you don't want to watch what's on the antenna cable, you slap in a DVD and we watch movies like that. And if you didn't have that, like you're not just gonna get Netflix up there.
Are there like sweet
not an option.
old DVD? Is it like any which way but loose? Is it like
Oh, dude, we have so many. Like,
is it like Roadhouse? Is it like
yeah, we have like oh, what's the? There was one that it was like 33,000 miles to Graceland or something like that. With Kevin Costner and stuff. Then we've got like there's old westerns up there, and like it's
So
you got everything.
So it's so funny. Like I've been trying to get like a lot of movies and stuff, and specifically I'm trying to find the same way I did with my video game collection when I first started rebuilding it. I wanted to buy all the games I had when I was a kid. I'm trying to like rebuild like all the movies that we had when we were kids. And like some of them are pretty obscure and they're hard to find. And I'm over here like, should I spend $50 on a Blu-ray of the movie Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd? Because am I the only one on planet Earth crazy enough to fucking buy this shit? Like, it's so funny. I'm like,
dude, I found
I was looking like I'm trying to find a copy of Young Einstein, which is a terrible movie, and like it's like $35. I'm like, God damn it, why is it so expensive?
I found a VHS of H2O, the Halloween movie.
Yeah.
And it's like apparently it's like a $50 to $100 copy because it's like a demonstration copy or something like that.
Okay.
Or it like says it's like a like diagonal on the case. I forget what it says, but it says something, and I was like, what does that mean? And I looked it up, and it was like, wait, what?
Bro, I was looking at I've been buying like lots of like Marvel movies, superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get like the Hulk movies. And I was like, okay, so let me go. I got the one with Eric Bana for like $1 because that movie is trash. And it's so funny.
I don't even know if it's worth $1. You got ripped off.
I bought it and I was like, oh, this will be fun to watch. It can't be as bad as I remember. And I watched it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty big. This is not enjoyable. Like I made my girlfriend watch it and I could just see her looking at me like, I can't believe you made me watch this. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought it was better than this. I never mind.
My wife does that all the time.
Dude, the one, Ed Norton has one, The Incredible Hulk. The 4K is like wicked expensive. It's like $100 for that shit. I'm like, what the hell? Like, the movie's not good, but it's out of print and you just can't find it. It's like, what the hell, man? So now I'm like trying to find it on the Blu-ray for like $30 somewhere. And even that I feel like is way overpaying for that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
That's one of the ones where you got to add it to a list, and one day you'll just come across it cheap and add it to the collection.
Yep.
Yeah, or it'll just get reprinted or re-released. I mean, that happens. And there's lots of shows where they just never got a 4K release. Never happened, or they didn't get ported to Blu-ray. Some stuff is stuck on DVD. But yeah, it'll that whole scene's gonna blow up sooner than later. Like it'll be like, how when they went to shut down the PS3 store, and all of a sudden everybody was like, PS3, I have to buy all the games, I have to buy everything. It's gonna be the same thing when the companies finally are like, that's it, boys, we're throwing in the tile. No more.
There you go, Joe. I can get you an Australian copy for like $25.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, there were cheaper versions. There were Asian versions and stuff. And one thing that's cool about 4Ks is they're not region locked. Just so you know, like any 4K will work in any players. In case you
Good
didn't
to know.
that.
Well, this one's in English, so if you want the English version, let me know.
Yeah, it's
It'd
got
be
a
cheaper
different
with
cover art.
postage.
I'm talking about the US NTSC one, obviously. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that would be fine. I'm not as OCD about my movie collection as I am about my games. I'm sure there are people who
I
are
see a
very
movie and I
serious,
just grab
but-
it if I want it.
As long as it plays, you know.
Yeah, and I'm totally okay with Blu-ray because I'll be honest with you, like I sometimes can't tell the difference between a damn Blu-ray and the 4K. This is the truth. Like I get them, but you get both in the case. You put it in, and I'll watch the whole movie, and sometimes I'll take it out and be like, "Oh, that was the Blu-ray. I didn't even realize that. I thought to put the 4K in the Blu-ray, whatever." And also, Blu-rays work better. Fucking 4Ks, they don't work a lot. They skip, and the players don't read them. They have to be spotless. You can't have a
Yeah, I was gonna say one finger mark on it and it won't play. You look at this and you're like, that's not playing. I remember PS1 discs like looking like shit. And you're like, oh god, I hope this works. This looks like
a bunch of kindergartners passed it around the
you
classroom.
put it in, and it takes a little bit longer, but it starts working.
Well, so Axiom said that he thinks there are region locked. I've been using my PS5 and I have no issues with anything. It's the PS5 has played everything, so it could be that there's like cheaper players that have that issue. But
Okay, that makes sense. And that's probably how they get around being cheaper. It's cheaper because it's region locked.
Yeah. So I like this is not my area of expertise. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
You guys want to get into some game pickups?
In a minute, I do want to go over just a couple more real quick announcements that came out because there was a whole bunch that came out that I thought was really cool. Did you guys see that this was announced? Cyber Shadow's coming out from Super Rare Games. If you aren't familiar with Cyber Shadow, it is like a really badass 2D Ninja Gaiden type game. So if you like ninja games, we are eating good right now, boys. We got the new Ninja Gaiden 2 coming out, Cyber Shadow Physical coming out, the remaster of the actual Ninja Gaiden 2, and then what was the other one? There's another one, Shinobi. There's a new Shinobi game coming out as well. So yeah, if you're into 2D ninja games, we're doing well. So if you're interested in this 2D ninja games, it's coming out on the 27th. And I don't know about the PS5 copy, but I bet the Switch one will sell out pretty fast. Although they do have a couple different versions, it looks like, so maybe they'll produce more than they normally do. Did they say how many copies? Oh yeah, so they're doing 4,000 Switch copies, 2,000. Oh yeah, so that's 6,000 Switch copies. That's a lot more than they normally do. So maybe this one will be around for a little bit. Looks like the PS5 version is only going to be 2,000 copies. So that'll probably be kind of rare. So yeah, Cyber Shadow's coming out. Just wanted to throw that out there. And then this might be an announcement that only old people like. And it's not a physical announcement, but either way, when I saw this, I was pretty fucking excited. But did you guys see that Samurai Pizza Cats is getting the game? Hell yeah! Do you have any idea what the Samurai Pizza Cats are? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
All right. So Samurai Pizza Cats was like a Japanese cartoon, and it was like sort of like a ripoff of like the Ninja Turtles were like turtles, and they were all into like eating pizza and stuff like that, and they were all like ninjas and stuff. This is about cats who are also samurais who like pizza. So it's kind of sort of similar in that vein, although the actual show itself is way different. But when I was a youngin', when I was a kid, I used to wake up before school every day, and I used to watch the Garfield cartoon. And then after Garfield, Samurai Pizza Cats came on. And I would eat my cereal and sit there and chill and watch Samurai Pizza Cats before I went to school, or I walked to school, or got on the bus, or whatever the hell I was doing. And Samurai Pizza Cats has like one of the greatest intro songs of all time. It's just fantastic. If you've never seen it, it's so good. But yeah, this is definitely, nostalgia bait for older folks. But I just had to point this out because like of all the cartoon series and all the things that are getting a reboot and getting a game, like I never thought this would happen. So yeah, dude, Samurai Pizza Cats, baby. Hell yeah.
When the anniversary is older than my age, it's a good tip. I haven't seen it.
It's older than me by a single year.
That's fair.
Yeah, see, we can both agree. That's why we haven't seen it. If it was the 30th anniversary, I'd probably have heard of it.
I don't even know if a lot of people my age have heard of it. It wasn't like it was at like 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
I
This
mean,
was
I've watched
before
a
school
bunch of
started, so.
obscure stuff that used to be on like Adult Swim and stuff, and like Toonami and stuff like that.
I do like that stuff as well. But do they have an answer? They go Samurai Pizza Cats.
I only had ABC for like the 8 years of my life, so
The bad guy is a
limited.
mouse. His name is the Big Cheese. It's
I'm sold. I'm getting it.
well, I doubt you'd sit down and watch it and be like, this is a masterpiece. But if your kids would probably think it's cute. If you threw it on for them, they would enjoy it. It's like that stupid, childish, goofy type of humor. But yeah, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yeah, I'm sure my daughter would get into it.
All right, so that's all I had for announcements. I just wanted to go over those because that all got announced like today. It's crazy. I was like, wow, the thing's coming out. Wow, mouthwashing's coming out. Holy shit, Samurai Pizza Cat's coming out. Holy shit, Cyber Shadow's coming out. What the hell's going on? It's a good day for announcements. So,
and when it's like just before the show, you keep in your eyes like, oh, I need some news. So anything that comes up, I'm gonna write that down.
yeah, I had one other piece of news. We don't have to get into that today. Let's do some pickups. You want to do pickups?
Yeah.
Who would like to go first? I will.
First. I got
I'll
four
go.
things.
No, you go. You go. Definitely you.
I haven't been picking much stuff up. I've been saving a bit of money this year compared to last year. I went a little bit too hard last year, so taking the realms in, but I'm still buying some stuff. So last month I ordered a game from this company called First Press Games, and it arrived.
Yeah,
Just what people called Chained Echoes.
Nice.
So I waited until I seen people having their copies in hand, and then I read it on Facebook that if you want your copy, you actually have to email them and say, "Hey, why isn't my game shipped yet?" And they shipped it like an hour, like 24 hours after that email. Now, I'm tempted to open the slipcover because I want to like look at the game. The game's still sealed. It's kind of weird that the slipcover's sealed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
I mean, they do nice games.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't like the fact that it's not a real slipcover. It's a cardboard box that's a little bit bigger. So it's like to fit it in the shelf, it's going to be really, really tight. You know, like they're slipcovers. They're all exactly the same size. This is a cardboard box. It's a bit different.
It's quite thick.
Just
feels
look
like
up
a
and
book,
unboxing.
like a leather book or something.
Yeah, I was tempted to play it too. Like, I mean, it looks good, and you know, I'm never going to sell it, so I may as well open it up and play it because it's just, you know, there's fuck all copies out there. Open copies are going to be worth the same. But I'm really happy to have this. Like, this looks amazing. You know, it looks like Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross or something. Like, the game looks absolutely fantastic. Finally in hand. Fuck these guys who did it. Shouldn't have taken 5 years. It's finally out, so it's awesome.
That one.
If you're waiting on your copy, send them an email and they'll hurry up and do it. I wasn't rude. I just said, hey, my copy hasn't arrived yet, and I've seen people getting theirs. And then, like, a day later, they didn't respond. They just updated the shipping and it's posted. So I'm like, oh, sweet. And
you
then,
gotta remind them that you bought it. You know how it is.
Yeah, you got to remind them that you're a customer.
Wait, you want me to? You want me to ship it to you too?
I thought you were just paying so we could hold it here for you. This is physics game. And then this morning I had a package from Video Games Plus that I bought like 2 weeks ago. I was saying before I don't buy limited run games from Limited Run. This is a game I skipped because I don't like supporting Limited Run, and I said I'll just wait until it's in Video Games Plus's store. I'll buy it. It'll get sent in a box, and it works out cheaper for me to buy limited run games through Video Games Plus than limited run. Like, how does that actually work?
And you get a box.
Yeah, and shipping's free. Like, and I'm getting nice copies that haven't got disc loose and blah blah blah. And of course, that game is Clock Tower Rewind on PS4.
Nice.
And I double dipped and bought it on PS5 as well.
There you go.
Couldn't
I
decide
think
which
the PS4
system.
copy of that's going to be pretty sought after down the line.
Yeah, fair enough. I like how PS4 still have the numbers on them. I don't like how PS5 don't do that. I didn't realize I didn't do that on their limited run games. And then I bought another game because I had to make up the $80 shipping, and that was $79.95, of course.
Of course. I was telling my girlfriend, like, I was trying to get free shipping from the other day. No matter what, I was like either at $79.99 or at $125. I was like,
yeah, there's no $85. Like, they're smart on how they do that.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta respect it. At least it's just one price for free shipping.
Mhm.
But there was another game that they had that I tried to buy 6 months ago. I couldn't buy it because it was only selling this game to customers in Canada. And then later on, they allowed customers in Europe to buy it. I'm like, why not Australia? And then I seen a collector in Australia who got the game, and he's like, they said only shipping to Europe, but I just put it in my cart and they sent it to me. So I did the same, and I got a copy of Castle Crashers Remastered.
Nice.
The website specifically says only shipping to Canada and Europe, but you can buy it if you're not in Canada or Europe.
Australia's right. Isn't Australia right below Germany, though?
I mean, we're in Eurovision, so maybe like countries in Eurovision can buy it. Oh, this is a really heavy game. It's got like all the stickers and stuff on the inside too, which is cool. So yeah, I'm happy to get the Castle Crashers. It looks like a lot of fun too, so I'm probably not going to open it, but it looks cool.
Those are fun games.
All games that I got recommended from seeing Joe pick up like a year ago. Like, oh, that looks good. Let me try and buy it. I can't buy it.
I bet that's how most people who watch this show feel. Like, this motherfucker always telling me about it a day too late. I'm like, yeah, I'll be honest with you. If I'm after something and it's hard to get, I don't talk about it on the show until I get it.
It used to be like that, and then I'm just like, I'll talk about it. And there's two type of people. There's one who will be like, oh, you want this game? I've got it. I'm going to charge you double. And then there's the other type who's like, oh, you want this game? I've got it.
True.
Yeah, I want you to have it.
There have been times where kind people have like been like, oh, I have a copy, I'll sell you one, or they'll tell me like, there's a website over here that has it. You know, they'll help me out. But at the same time, like you said, there's other people where all they do is they go, hey, look what I got. That game you wanted. Ha ha, fuck you. Like, oh, congratulations. You got the thing I wanted. Fucking dick.
Yeah. I mean, it's happened so many times that when I was going for a full PS3 set, the second last game I got from someone who watches the show, and I was very, very appreciative of that because I've still never seen it. And then the last game I was looking for months and months, and as soon as I bought it, like 2 people I knew listed their copies on eBay right away. Like, what? Okay, I've got it. Just all right. That's how things work.
There's a PS4 game I've been trying to get for a while, and there's one on eBay right now. So maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll talk about it if I get it. But until then, nah, there's nothing going on. So I picked up randomly. I don't know why, but I did. I grabbed Batman Begins on the PS2.
Nice.
I was like in a stream, and everybody was talking about good Batman games, and I was like, I love Batman, and I was like, hey, this Batman game's on the PS2. I don't have these games, and so I grabbed this, and it's not got great reviews. A lot of people said this is not the greatest game in the world, but that's okay. It was like really cheap, and I like Batman, and I want to get them all on me old PS2, so I grabbed Batman.
You know what the irony is? In terms of good Batman games, they begin on PS3.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody says. The Arkham games are where it's at. So,
yeah.
But I was told that this is like the proto Arkham game. This is like that style, just obviously not as good. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, boys. Anybody play Batman Begins? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it shite? Does he walk around like
in that era, they didn't really have open world games down pat, so you can imagine an open world superhero game. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you were Alfred and you knew Bruce Wayne since he was a baby, and you like changed this kid's diapers, and you were in a room with him and he was dressed up like Batman and he was talking to you like this, would you just smack him and be like, shut the fuck up, Bruce? I know who you are. What's with the voice? Can you just like, I know you're in the suit and you do the voice when you're in the suit, but come on, it's just the two of us, pal. You know what I'm talking about? Watch the movies again and notice the scenes where he's talking to somebody who knows who he is, and he still uses the Batman voice. I'm like, bro, shut up.
What the fuck are you sounding
Imagine if your friend was Batman and you were like, Carl, just shit, dude, stop it, bro. God. Anyway. Speaking of limited run games,
in the Batcave, like asking him and Alfred, "What do you want me to do, Alfred? What's the plan?"
Yeah,
Bruce, you were talking to me 5 minutes ago. Normally,
yeah, for real. Tell me what you want me to order for dinner. All right,
Alfred, what's for dinner?
I'm Batman. Speaking of limited run and annoying bullshit, I did grab the Turtle Shredders Run, the Ultimate Edition, the super. We totally swear this is the last
version
time
is this?
we're gonna. This is the actual full final version that has all the DLC embedded on the disc.
Oh, that's nice.
This is supposed to be, as far as they've stated, the last time they are going to release this.
Hey guys, we're going to put an asterisk on this in case you're watching from the future and more DLCs come out.
Sure. Well, this is the third version.
The ultimate.
The original version, and then there was the updated version that came with the rabbit, and then there's this version that comes with says it includes 4 playable characters, survival mode, and exclusive color palettes. So if you want to change it to pea green and have it all look like pea, that is an option for. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what they mean by color palettes. I'm assuming that's something like that. And then I ordered from them as well. Came in the same order. I got my copy of Pumpkin Jack.
Oh, that looks cool.
This looks really cool. This is like a 3D platformer. And it's like Halloween themed, which I'm a fan. I'm a sucker for shit like this in general. I like Nightmare Before Christmas. I like giant flaming pumpkin head people. I like Sleepy Hollow. I don't know. I like shit like this. Just looks cool. Reminds me of like playing Maximo or one of those types of games from back in the day.
Maximo's cool.
Yeah, this one looks like a good one. If you like 3D platformers, you may want to check it out.
Coming soon to Video Games Plus.
It might be in it by now.
I mean, everything does at this point. I haven't.
So I've seen a lot of people picking this up recently because it was on sale on Woot. Woot woot. I'm gonna hit the button. But yeah, I got the Hellboy Web of Weird Word collector's edition. This is like a cell shaded 3D action beat 'em up type game. Yeah, exactly. But I like Hellboy. You guys like Hellboy? I like Hellboy. I like the film.
Yeah, cool. I like the case it's in too.
Yeah, they're good shit. They were Guillermo del Toro, I believe, directed those movies, the first 2. And like, I don't know, I really like his stuff, and I really enjoyed the Hellboy movies. And I would love to actually get like a third one to round out the trilogy, but I don't think that'll ever happen. And Ron Perlman's kind of fucking retarded, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
He's getting up there in age too.
Yeah, he's like lost his fucking mind. He's another one of those celebrities where like, it's like, why did you talk in public? Like, you were so much more likable before you spoke. Like, there's this, like, I call it Tyra Banks syndrome, because this was like the first time this
Kanye
happened.
West syndrome or something.
When I was a kid, Tyra Banks was on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine swimsuit edition, and I was like, she is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She is so hot. Oh my God. Tyra Banks. Woo-wee. And then she got a talk show, and she was fucking retarded. Like, straight up a fucking idiot. Like, total moron. Embarrassingly stupid. The things she said were so fucking cringy on such a regular basis that I was like, oh God, no, I wouldn't. I don't care how hot she is. I wouldn't spend 5 minutes with this fucking person in a room. She is obnoxious, just beyond obnoxious. And it's just like, you ruined it. You ruined it. You should just shut up. You should have just been quiet, and then I would have liked you forever. But nope, you had to ruin it. I picked up this too. Sword Art Online, Fractured Daydream.
I want to get it, but I'm going to wait for a price drop.
This was our.
You can usually get them for like $40 Sword Art games.
I got it for $14.99.
Fuck you.
It was on Woo.
Like $70 here.
Yeah, so I picked it up. I don't know anything about this game, to be honest with you. It says it's 1 to 20 players, so it's like a single player but online player game as well. I don't know if it needs internet. It could. I don't think anything that says it's required, but probably like 80% of the features of the game require internet is my guess. It is called, to be fair, it's called online. Sword Art Online. I mean, I kind of expected it.
No, that's just the name of the series. So.
$14.99. So I picked up Skydance's Behemoth. This is one of the new PlayStation VR 2 required games. It is not optional to play without a VR. You do need like somebody was asking about that online. If you see up here and it says required, you have to have a headset to play it. If it just says PSVR mode included or like optional or something like that, that usually means it's got a flat screen mode and you do not need to get PSVR to play it. But this isn't.
Or it's a feature in the game where it's like a single player game that has a VR mission. Something like
that.
Exactly.
Well, that's the real joke is sometimes it'll say VR mode, and really what it is like you can watch the credits in VR. Like, why would I do that? Like, cool. That's great. Some stupid ass thing that you would never fucking do in a million years. But anyway, this game looks dope. It looks like Shadow of the Colossus kind of, but it's in VR. That's what it reminds me of. It's like you fight these giant ass monsters and you fly around and jump on their shoulders and you stab them in the balls and shit like that. Because their balls are on their shoulders, I guess. I don't know. And then I don't know how I feel about this, but there's just a part of me that like I had to have this game in my collection. And I know a lot of people will not understand and a lot of people will not approve. But again, this was on sale for $19.99, and I just couldn't say no because to me, this looks like hands down the funniest game that has come out in the last 5 years. I can't wait to play it just for the lols. Here it is, boys. I couldn't say no. I had to pick it up. Dustborn, the collector's deluxe edition, whatever. It was $19.99. And it is the funniest fucking game ever. It's like the wokest game that's ever come out and ever. And it's like literally like you fight people with like trigger warnings and shit like that. It's so stupid. You beat bosses with microaggressions and shit like that. It's like so unbelievably, ridiculously, comically over the top stupid that I just had to have this, man. Yeah, see, Speed Killer knows the worst game ever made. So I didn't buy this because it's good. I bought it because it's hilariously bad. Because it'll be hilarious to play this. Like I will play this and I'll make my girlfriend watch me. And
you should stream it so we can all enjoy it with you.
I should because it's hysterical. I'm not proud that I own it though. Like I'm afraid someday I'm gonna be dead and someone will be looking through my collection and they'll be like, "Man, this guy has really great taste. What the fuck is that?" What the
kid's going through it one day? What games does Dad like? Let's try this one. Who was this guy?
This game is it's like almost it's a parody of itself. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's unintentionally hilarious. Like they think it's serious, but normal people will find this very hysterical. That's my feelings on it.
It's funny that it's not satire. That's the funny part.
Correct.
If it was like South Park doing it, that would make more sense.
I view it that way, but that's not what it is. So there it is. That's Dustborn. The last thing I bought wasn't really a game, but I picked up one of these super cool 8-bit retro keyboard thingies. Nice. And I specifically went for this plain white and gray looking one because I'm going to pair this with my PlayStation Superstation, a little FPGA PlayStation 1 that I ordered. Remember you guys talked about that a few episodes ago?
Yeah.
It's like basically a little mini PlayStation 1, but it's like a Mr. Pi FPGA console. And I'm going to use it for more than just PlayStation because it's a Mr. Pi. You'll be able to put whatever you want on it. So I'm going to use this to play Atari games and shit on it. Did you guys
like the little knobs at the top? That's cool.
Yeah, it's
that's pretty sweet.
you can turn on Bluetooth, a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, and then the one next to it is volume, which I use all the time. So I have more than I already have one of these. They also have a Commodore 64 themed one, which is really cool. And then I think and then they have the Famicom version as well. So they have a couple different versions. Now watch, they'll come out with an actual PlayStation themed one now that I bought this one, just to piss me off. Like 2 weeks later, they'll be like, "Here's the PlayStation one." I'm like, "God damn it!" But yeah, that was all my pickups. Pretty cool.
Well,
no one's gonna top Dustborn. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, man.
Since you said about FPGA, I'll guess I'll start with that. I've been wanting one of these for a very long time, and I never pulled the trigger because they sold out like crazy. And they restocked them or whatever, and I saw them, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. It is the Analog Pocket.
Nice, dude. Those are awesome.
And I got the Game Gear attachment for the back because as a kid, I always wanted a Game Gear, and I never got one, and I never got to experience it. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting the Game Gear attachment, and I'm going to get Game Gear games, and I'm going to play them, and I'm probably going to hate them, but I'm going to enjoy it anyway. So
Game Gear games are pretty good. There's some good ones.
I'm sure there's some. So to go along with it, I got Sonic 2.
I was going to say the Sonic games are great on the Game Gear.
I got Sonic Chaos. This one's really dumb. World Series Baseball, because I absolutely love the Genesis version. It's one of my favorite Genesis games ever. And I got Shining Force.
That's the one I was going to suggest, actually. It's funny. I was going to say you should pick the Shining Force up. That game's fun.
My my ex-friend / co-host of my channel actually got that for me. So
didn't he wasn't he the pilot of that plane that crashed in DC? Is that what happened?
Might as well have been, yeah. My brother-in-law got this for me for Christmas, actually. But Silent Hill 2, the remake.
That's good.
So that's been on my list of things to play, and I just never grabbed it. So he got that for me, and I was very excited.
Before we move off from the Game Gear, can I just point out that if you ever owned one, it would destroy batteries.
Yeah,
it was
like what? Like 8D batteries?
Not D.
Or C batteries.
D batteries are the big ass.
The C batteries. Yeah.
No, it's double A's. It's like 4 double A's or something like that.
I swear it was
it might be more. It might be
chunky
more.
batteries.
It might be 6. What batteries? Batteries for Game Gear. What is all this shit? No, I don't want to. Oh, you can buy a console battery pack for it?
Yeah, I've seen local listings.
6 double A's. It says the Game Gear was powered by 6 double A's, which provided an approximate battery life of 3 to 5 hours. 3 to 5 hours.
That's wild. For 6 double A's.
I think I got one, and I was like, "Dad, I want." He's like, "Okay, son," and then I was like, "I need 62 batteries a day." He was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Throw that thing away." What are you doing? 3 to 5 hours, 6 double A's, like absolutely absurd.
That's insane.
I just had to point that out. It's just crazy.
So I've been
It's
doing
400 batteries. This should last you a
3
week.
hours, 6 double A's, and they were dead in 3 hours. Get out of here! And I would play 3 hours, like
that's
easily.
no time at all.
Sorry.
So on my channel, I've been doing a thing. I haven't really made it a thing, but I will be soon, where I am going through my game collection, and I am going to be playing all the games from my collection, revisiting them, and being like, okay, does it make it in the collection? Is it something I enjoy? Yes, cool, it's on the shelf. No, sell it. So it kind of fine tunes my collection. So I did play Donkey Kong 64, and it was not great. So I
A lot
ended
of
up,
people don't like that game.
I sold it or I traded it. And this is what I got in that trade. So I got Pokemon Violet because I haven't played them and I have been itching for a Pokemon game.
I put like
And-
15, 20 hours into it. Like it's all right, but if I was to recommend playing a new one, I'd recommend Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl.
I
'Cause they're like
had
modern
Brilliant
versions of the old ones.
Diamond, I think, but I never played it and I sold it for some reason. I can't remember. And then I got Luigi's Mansion 3.
Quality. They really need to come
And-
out with Luigi's Mansion 1 then, because they came out with 2.
Yeah, I agree.
3. Come on. Why you gotta do that to me? My OCD is not like that.
And then non-video game related, but I am a massive fan of this franchise, and I don't collect these. I only collect them from this franchise. Is I got the new Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood Funko Pops because I have all the other ones, and I saw them at a bookstore, and I was like, I have to grab them. So I got Greed, I got Envy, I got Mei Chang, and Lanfan.
That's cool. I don't
So-
hate Funko Pops.
I just
People
don't.
hate on them a lot, and I get it.
I don't hate on them, but they're just something I shouldn't dive
They're very much remind me like Beanie Babies. They're like designed with the intention of being collectible, which means they won't be.
Yeah.
It'll be like 90% of them are worth $5, and then 10% are worth money.
And the people
then-
that think that they're worth money, or the ones that are worth money, people would have paid up for them, so they're not going to be selling them for, I paid $2,000 for this. I don't want to sell it for less than that. What do you mean it's worth nothing?
That company absolutely very similar to the way in Magic the Gathering. They feed off FOMO and they feed
Oh,
off
yeah.
that, like that limited blah blah blah, chasing this. You got to get this version from this store. There's only 7. You got to get the sticker on his butt, whatever.
It's artificial collectability. Like, for a product to be collectible in long term, it has to organically be collectible.
Correct.
Yeah.
But like it's popular because it's rare because they put 2,000 copies out and then it became popular and it blew up. And when people went to buy it, there was 10,000 buyers and only 2,000 copies. That's why it's expensive, not because, hey guys, this is rare, you should buy it. We're the ones selling it. Doesn't make sense.
And then I have one more thing that's a very large pickup. So I was in a Goodwill the other day, and there were movie posters that were in the same frames, and people were mad dashing to get to them. And I just so happened to go by and pick up the one that I liked the most. And
Nice.
it is a
Wow.
definitely legit signed ET poster.
That's good.
That's fucking cool, man. The 20th anniversary.
I don't think that the signatures are legit, but it's really cool as like a conversation piece of somebody that comes in and sees it and they're like, is that signed? And it's like, yeah, duh. Steven Spielberg right there.
Yeah, he was over here last week, bro.
But they had
He
had
played
this,
Donkey Kong 64.
they had Jaws, they had Home Alone, which somebody grabbed before I got there. And there was like one or two more for like even like really, really old movies. But I saw the signatures on it and I just snatched it up and I was like, oh shit. And then I looked at the signatures online and compared them, and they don't really add up. But the thing that's confusing is like some are in gold Sharpie, some are in blue Sharpie, and they're definitely different styles. So I'm not quite sure on exactly what that is or means. So
It'd be a weird thing for someone to forge them with different signature styles and different pens and stuff. But
yeah, and like write
Not
little
that they
messages on there. But there's one thing that kind of caught
Does it
my
say
eye
like "suck my
after.
balls"? Signed Steven? Because I don't know if that's
You
real.
see right here, if you notice, it says "E.T. Go Home" and not "Phone Home."
Let's go.
So it's like, well,
Some guy in a factory in China being like, I don't know, good enough.
yeah.
to
So
go home.
it seems a little fishy there, but I thought it would be cool to just hang up anyway, and just anybody that comes down to like the game room / like family room we have over there that just sees it and they're like, whoa.
That's really cool.
I
Man.
definitely know that they sell like modern reprints of movie posters because we used to get them in the pawn shop all the time. Speaking of us, was Back to the Future there. Like Back to the Future was one that we get all the time, and they're always signed of everything, but they weren't real. You know, they're just photocopies of them.
Well, this is like legit Sharpie on the photo.
Yeah, it might be real.
Yeah, it's I don't think it is, just the way that I saw, like, especially the Steven Spielberg signature. I'm just like, his signature from everything that I looked up is like so different every time.
Well, you
So
know what you have
like-
to do now. You have to go to Pawn Stars in Vegas,
I've actually been there.
and you have to go in there and just be like, I'm 100% certain this is real. I want $1 million. And they'll have some
Get an
guy
expert
come
in here. Let's go.
My uncle was on the set. That's where I got it from.
I found it in his attic, and I remember he used to date ET. So
He was actually the one that rode the bike over,
he
like,
was the bike.
in the sky. Yeah.
It was his bike. They borrowed it.
Hey, ET looked pretty good when he was dressed up like a lady.
Yeah, the red
You know
lipstick.
what I'm saying? With the curly hair and everything. I don't know. He dressed up all right. Oh my god. Anyway. Very cool. Yeah, you should do that. That's what I would do with it. I would just go there and I'd be like, fucking you tell me if it's real.
Yeah,
For free.
yeah.
And then they'd be like,
Antique
no,
show or something.
it's not real. It's worth $1. Get the hell out of here.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it were to somehow be like real, that would be the most insane fucking Goodwill snag for $10. Like,
That would be good. I love the people who go on that show and they're like, I want $1 million for this thing. Then the expert comes in and they're like, it's fake. It's worth like $8. And the guy goes, all right, well, how much do you really want for it? He's like,
500,000.
$2 million. I'm like, what? What's the matter with you, dude?
You heard the guy. He said it's a cool conversation piece.
Yeah, you just found out it's not worth anything. Why would you? Well, I don't know. I know that guy's an expert, but my Nana, she told me it's real. And
Oh,
Nana wouldn't lie. She's
Here's
Nana.
one more that I actually had.
Oh, I thought you were done. Not bad.
I got some little Dad's Game Room stickers
Oh,
That's good.
with my little logo on it.
that's pretty sweet, brother.
So that was the last thing. I forgot about it until I just looked over at my water bottle.
Very, very
It's like in the South Park style. Is that the artwork?
So there was a guy I used to play Magic with, and he's a really good artist. And I told him to draw. I told him what I wanted, so he drew me like from the back, and then like a little girl, which is my daughter.
Which one's which?
And so yeah, I'm actually the one here in the little bunny onesie.
Wow, your daughter's huge.
And then I told him like everything I was into. So he put like a little Moobies thing from Clerks.
Nice.
And there's like some Magic cards and some Game Boy stuff, the Yoshi
Stack of
egg,
games.
just a bunch of like, stack of games, and just a bunch of like some Star Wars stuff. And that's been my logo. So I made little
Awesome.
stickers to see how they turned out, and they turned out really good. So I think,
That's cool.
you know, if
you gonna,
I
like,
get,
give them away to people, or are you gonna
yeah,
sell
if like
them, or
if I have like enough people
put
that
'em
would
up in
be
public
into it,
restrooms?
then I'll put them on like on the toilets in the stalls.
In the toilet, in the urinals. Yep.
Yeah, like where you aim.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put them in there. Yeah.
No. That's cool, man. We should get some merch, Figs. What are we doing with our lives? We should definitely do that.
I mean, it wasn't a bad price. They have a bunch of deals that go on. So
No, we should make steel books with no games in them. Selling the people.
Yeah.
We'll
PlayStation.
just sell games because the customers won't open them.
That's true. You know what I'm
They're not
gonna
gonna
do?
play
I'll
'em.
tell people that I fucking there's like 30 games on it. I'll throw a CDR in there. I'll fucking seal that bad boy up with some fucking
Right on the
sand
CDR
to
with
get the
Sharpie.
light right.
sand. Put some pop rocks in there and shit. Yeah, why not? Fucking A. That's so funny. I mean, yeah, I guess that's all it takes these days. You don't, who cares if it works? People aren't gonna open them, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna know.
Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll say they're for like the Japanese Sharp 6800 computer, some obscure motherfucking thing that nobody owns anyways. They won't be able to test it. I'm like, this is for Tandy 5000s. You guys got those? I didn't think so. Aha! I'll put them on. I'll put them on 3.5-inch floppy disks, like the big old school ones. Shit, that's awesome. So yeah, you said there's been a couple changes to your show. You're changing your format a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe doing
so
some solo content now.
yeah, so I'm all by myself now. So I am kind of focusing more on actually playing. Like I'll live stream like once a week of me playing whatever game I'm gonna be talking about, just so people can come hang out if they want to talk, and they can talk. And it's just chill hangout. There's no topics or anything. It's just I'm gonna play the game. I'll talk about it as I play, and then I'll go back and edit through, and I'll do some voiceover about the game. Talk about the history of it or what it's about, what I like about it, and then at the end I'll do like a summary of like, yes, I liked it, or no, I didn't like it. Here's why. It doesn't. It's not going to stay in my collection. I'm actually gonna set it off to the side, and I'm kind of playing around with like how to build that style of video.
Very cool.
And it's weird being by myself talking to a camera.
It is weird.
You get used to it. You get used to it.
Yeah, I remember somebody, Rad Bash, asked me to do like a little thing for him once, and it was like a 3-minute video, and it took me forever because I'm just like saying the same thing 300 times, trying to get it like correct. And
you notice like you said
awkward.
something weird, or like it just didn't flow correctly, and then or you like just got caught up, and you're like, fuck, and then you stop, and then you go back and delete it, and then re-record it.
It's weird when you start watching yourself and you're like, oh, that's what I sound like.
So that's honestly, that's I think from editing what I was editing with my ex co-host, that I got over that pretty quickly. So that doesn't bother me as much. The weird thing is just like getting up to like talking to the camera. So like I'll sit down here and I'll kind of like write a soft script of like what I want to say about the game, get all my info in order, and then I'll put it like at the corner of my monitor where my camera is, so I can kind of reference it while I say certain lines, and I can cut it up and stuff. But like I'll look at it and be like, okay, and I'll talk it, I'll say it, and I'll be like, all right, I'm ready, let's go, record, say the thing, and then I'll just freeze and I'm like, what am I doing?
So you know what I found helped when I was alone recording is I would pretend everyone in the room was naked.
You're the only one in the room.
I like it. So next video you see, if all you see is like my bare chest, that's why I'm imagining.
That's why you were covering your boobies in the thumbnail.
Yeah,
you were pretending you didn't want anyone to see your nips.
Yeah,
I get it.
This is for subscribers only.
Exactly. That's for the only content. That's where the
just
real
have little like 99-cent things over each nipple. Yeah, unlock now.
But yeah, his Dad's Game Room's latest video is up. It's about Castlevania. If you guys have ever heard of that game, it's a little franchise, very good. I'm glad that you started to focus your content on the GOAT console. That is the NES. Thank you very much. The best console ever made with the greatest library of games for the history.
I was waiting for the comment to come. I was waiting for it.
Well, I was gonna get it right at the end. Right in there.
That's one of my favorite things to do when I see you guys are live and I'm like not doing something. I'll be like, oh, I gotta go in and troll Joe.
Yeah, well,
And I watch your reactions as you see my chat message, and you just like very subtly, you're like, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, I put the his info is in the comments. If you guys haven't already, you should go check him out and subscribe. And do you like a follow schedule, or just once a week, or just
usually I try and stream my game on Thursday, like at 7 o'clock. But it might kind of differ. It just depends. We've kept it like 7 p.m. on Thursdays, but very rare occasions I'll do like a Wednesday or maybe a Friday or whatever. I might have my wife do some stuff with me too, like if we play a game together or something and talk about it. So I'm gonna just play around with it and see what I can come up with.
Cool, man. Yeah, and if you ever want, we'll come on and talk shit if you ever want.
Oh,
just always down.
Absolutely. That's another thing because I want to keep talking about like things that interest me about gaming and stuff. And I do have a big idea that I think you guys would be perfect for. So
sweet.
Sounds good.
Is it about how good your PlayStation is?
Yeah.
Well, sweet. That's what we do. Cool, guys. Well, yeah, this is a great episode. We're at about that time. Figs, you got anything you want to share before we head out? Anything going on? Anything special?
I've just been playing a lot of the game. I've been streaming a bunch this week. I think I did like 4 streams on Twitch this week. But I just stream GeoGuessr on Twitch. So if you're interested in like high level GeoGuessr gameplay, I stream a bunch on there. Usually like late nights in Australia.
I think I caught one of your streams on GeoGuessr the one day.
Nice.
So if you guys sub to my channel, if I get to 250 subs, I'll stream Dustborn. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm close to it. So we're going to Dustborn stream. You're going to watch Joe's going to come on in a month and be like, I got the platinum, guys. I'm helping people online.
See, I find that most people won't subscribe, but if they know it'll actually like torture me in some way, then they will. Like, all right, now it's worth it. I want to see him play through this piece of shite. But yeah, I'm gonna try to stream more. I've been seriously addicted to Binding of Isaac again. It's a problem. I can't stop playing that fucking game, dude. I have 4,700 hours into it now or something like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I can't stop playing it. It's terrible. Like my girlfriend's like, will you play something else? I'm like, I'm sorry. I love it so much. I'm so addicted to it. Like I like stopped playing it for like a year and now I'm like picked it back up and I can't stop. But I'm gonna try to get back.
It's nice to play other things. I recommend pulling out games and putting them in front of the TV. So you have to play them before you can put them away. And it'll be like, I want to put these games away. I've got to play them. That's what I did 2 weeks ago, and I'm smashing through.
Reggie has been going on about that Rogue Flight game like it's the second.
Yeah.
I own it and I haven't played it yet, and I feel terrible. So I'm like, gotta like make myself play the damn thing. Put the Binding of Isaac away. But the Steam Deck is so convenient. It's right there.
I have the ROG Ally, and it is very convenient.
Yeah, and I don't have to hog the TV, and I it's but you know, I have a Portal, so I have no excuse. I can play whatever I want.
I'd love to have a Portal,
two portals,
especially that one that you have up there.
Everything I say is just bullshit. I can do whatever I want. So, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the content, again, please subscribe. We're going to be back next Thursday. Our guest is going to be Jay from Square Pegs. Looking forward to that. And then the following week, we have Retro Wolf joining us as well.
Awesome.
And then after that, I'm too lazy to have anything booked. So we'll work that out when we get there. If you are a creator and you or a collector and you would like to come on the show, please reach out to me on X or Instagram, or get in touch with Reggie, or get in touch with Figsy and let us know, and we'll try to get you on. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night.
Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
Later, guys.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting snacks, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk scams, only got the best. gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break the song, gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance. We found the coolest place to be.